It's okay.
So, we're out here.
What's
Another
up?
episode. All Walks of Life podcast. You're episode 10, bro.
10.
You're episode 10, bro.
That means a lot to me.
That's crazy.
That's
Thank you
special.
for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Carlos. Damn, son. It's been so long, bro, that I seen you.
Yeah. And then just to meet like this.
Word, right?
It's going to be, I think it makes it even more special.
So now you want Los, Carlos, your B-boy name. What do you want? Anything? Doesn't matter.
I think it's changed.
That's
since you've seen me, since we've been like breaking in the scene and growing up together like that, it's changed a lot. But I'll take Carlos. It's fine.
Word.
It went from like first B-boy name that like only like Woodbridge people knew, like
Yup.
B-boy Kal-El. I thought I was like low key Superman. Then it went to like bow-legged because Popeye gave it to me. And then
Popeye, barber
Popeye. Yeah. Get Fresh Barbers.
Yeah.
Dope clothing line too.
Oh, he started a clothing line?
Yo, it's fire. Yo, I got a few things from it and like the quality of it. I'm not even lying just because he was like one of my first teachers. But it's
was
dope.
nice.
It's dope. It's dope. Definitely check them out. Get Fresh Barbers. But shout out to them. But then Quick Step changed my name. And then he was like, "You're not even bow-legged."
What?
Right. But Popeye is. Popeye's bow-legged, but he called me that. It's a reflection.
Word, right? He was looking within himself. I
just want to lay this out on somebody else.
Yeah.
But then it became IronMan360 because I was learning under Full Circle after a certain amount of time that I was with, that I still hold it to my name. So it's just Iron Man or IronMan360, but 360 became like a big important part of my life.
Yeah.
More than just Full Circle.
Oh, okay.
But Carlos is cool.
Oh, shit. You know what? Look at me. I'm out here slipping. Boy, I'm so excited. Fucking going in live. I'm on Bill O'Reilly, and I'm out here.
That's all right.
No,
I thought we were expressing our tans.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Darkness.
Yeah, we just want to let you know. Out of dark comes the light, right? But we're just going to get philosophical on them, right?
For episode 10, you just got 10 points for that.
Right. So, yeah, I wanted you to be here because, like I said, it's called All Walks of Life. I met you a long time ago as a B-boy, and we've been cool ever since. And it was like, I see you doing your thing, and I was like, yo, the amount of stories I have and I think about, and I'm like, damn, those times are crazy. And it's almost like you could almost forget memories. Like, I feel like the more, if you have a lot of hobbies, like you forget what you did. And then I'm like, oh shit. Remember I don't know. Were you
I
there?
got you. I
know you.
I got a good memory, man.
Bro.
I'm going to go in with your history, with what we know from seeing it from the Woodbridge side of things, because you guys.
Yeah, I want to hear that. How did you? Because I feel like the first time I saw you was St. Mary's.
Wow. All
Like,
right.
I heard of you though. I heard of you though.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you the fast, quick summary for all of you to understand some Jersey history.
Yeah.
Because that was the way it was.
Hit 'em with it.
All right, so I was into dance like towards junior year, senior year in Woodbridge, where there wasn't really any type of b-boy culture.
Yeah.
There was hip hop music. Maybe some people were trying to rhyme, but it wasn't like that. Now, one town over, it was Perth Amboy, where it was already known that there were kids that were dancing. So for us, it was a long bike ride to get there to try to figure out, you know what I mean? Getting beeped from one side. I'm at this corner, I'm at that corner to see them dancing. You guys used to dance at in front of my family's mechanic on Amboy Ave by Rodriguez Tires.
Yeah.
And you guys made an article.
The
you guys
triangle.
Made
I still got the paper.
You have the paper, right?
I'm gonna frame it.
Yeah, you should.
I'm gonna frame it.
That was big.
I'm
and then because of that,
bootleg flair.
that's okay. Hey, you made it. You made the front. You made the cover.
Or
You know. And then after that, I think they like closed it down. They put like flower pots and everything. So I was like, damn, I missed it.
Yeah.
Right. So it kept happening. Then a kid came from Amboy to my school. His name was Robert, a.k.a. B-Boy Casper from Amboy.
Purple Eye Robert. Shout out to Purple Eye Robert.
He was my first teacher.
Get out.
He was my first teacher, my first physical influence of b-boying. right? So I'm playing for Woodbridge High School. I'm playing for Woodbridge High School basketball, and I'm on my way to the locker room, and I see this brother doing windmills by himself, just by himself. He took advantage of the floor, and he just started hitting mills, and I was like, "That's it. That's what I want. That's it. I quit everything. I quit all sports. I used to play football, basketball, and baseball." My parents used to get all mad, like, yo, you could have gotten like a partial scholarship. You know what I mean? You could have gotten something. What are you going to do? Spit on your head for the rest of your life? Fast forward 22 years later. That's what's paying the bills. Word. And I have a college degree, but that's what paid for college, which is interesting for me. So when we talk about that entertainment aspect that you and Irv talked about, if you didn't see those episodes, check out those episodes.
Word. Shout out to Irv, yo. Irv Diggy.
If you did, you know what I mean? Like that for me, breaking paid for my college tuition. Wow. So it was really big. Crazy. So Robert taught me, right? Yeah. He took the time to teach me because he was dating a girl named Danelle.
Yup.
Okay.
Shout out to Danelle.
Danelle's an MC too. So I know she rhymes, right?
Nah, she's singer.
Singer?
She's a singer.
Okay.
She's a singer.
I know she's in the hip hop community.
Yeah, she could sing.
Yeah. So and she was peoples with my people, so like we always were hanging out, and I got a chance to talk to him, and he was the first one to break down to me, yo, power is power, because I seen him do windmills, so all I wanted to do was windmills, you know what I mean? And he was like, yo, power is power, but flavor can never be beaten. Nope. Like he taught me that. He taught me how to do an elbow spin. He taught me like the concepts.
Yeah. Then
he introduced me to Knuckles.
Josh
Knuckles,
bro. Shout out to yo, that's my comrade in this b-boy thing. I got Juanito too, but
Josh was first. Josh was first.
Josh, bro.
Periodically, Josh was first. Bro. Whereas you might have had more time with Juanito. First was Josh.
But bro, Josh, bro.
Yeah. He was something else.
That's my homie, son.
So he was the one trying to teach me intros to windmills, like how to go from the stab and twist into it in his method, and how to rock. You guys called it, the Amboy lingo was the crawl.
Yeah.
Which was the footwork, you know.
Yeah, we had 3 steps, 6 steps, and then we were like, just crawl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so that was really big for me. And I'm gonna be just really blatant about it. Like I feel like he was setting me up to get to battle you guys. Like
Josh was.
Yeah. He was Don King-ing it. Yeah. He was Don King-ing it on the low. And he was like, yo, I'm gonna get this dude just to like be some like lunch meat for the Amboy dudes.
Yo, I think he told me, like, yo, there's people coming through. We're gonna battle them today. And then I didn't know that.
He invited me, but I was kind of like, I'm like, yo, I'm going into somewhere where I don't know. And then I'm like, I'm being set up. But I was like, oh, it's okay. It's okay.
That's that b-boy though. You're like, I got win or lose, we gonna get these rounds in.
But because of it, right? Once I saw that what happened, and that's where I first physically saw you.
Yeah.
Where I first physically saw you was at the St. Mary's, in which somebody, I forgot who, was battling, I think it was Oswald, for a radio. Somebody had stolen a radio or something like that. I never get into the drama, but I knew I was
somebody
there for a
took my homie's radio, and we could have just been like, and fight him and like, yo, homie, get my radio back. I just wanted to go b-boy in it. I just wanted a b-boy for the radio.
It couldn't have been any better.
I made him retire.
The
next day, you know what he said? I'm like, yo, what up? We were talking to me and Juanito. That's so crazy that you remember that. Sorry to cut you off.
I can keep going.
I know. Just remember that thought. You physically saw me. Somebody just hold that thought. Just a sidebar. Talking to Juanito yesterday. And I was like, yo, remember that battle? He's like, bro, I was there. I have the bad memory of remembering people who were at an event that I have in my head. I feel like I'm the only person there. And I like tunnel vision. And he was like,
I was there. You had a purpose. There's a different reason.
And then I battled him for the radio. The next day, 17 rounds on concrete. No floor. Me, him, 1 round. Me, him, 2 rounds. 17 rounds. Got my homie's radio back. The next, that happened like on a Thursday or something. On Monday, I go to school. I'm like, yo, what up? He's like, I was like, you still dancing? Just to like mess with him, right? And he's like, nah, I'm gonna join my brother's bachata band. I was like, yo, I made him retire.
Yo.
I made him retire. He was nice.
And yo,
He was nice.
How do you just throw that away?
He was so nice.
He had flares, he had mad power.
Everything 90s.
Yeah. Wow. Well,
I made him retire. Yeah, I can't believe you know that story.
So I know that story. Yeah, yeah.
So in case y'all thought I was lying, bro.
No. This is real. So once I found out that I was getting set up, so I kind of had a little bit of shade that way, but I still stayed in touch because ultimately they were the only source that I had besides VHS tapes. Right? At the time, I was collecting. Which are hard to find, kind of. At the time, I was collecting them. I was going to Scrapyard, or there was a place in New Brunswick called Planet X. All right, at Planet X. Scrapyard is still there. So
no, it's not.
Of course it is. West Broadway.
I gotta go.
West Broadway and Canal Street.
I gotta go.
So it's still there. It's more of a graph.
Yeah,
set
it's
up
graph.
in hip hop.
I got a graph that coming later today.
But still there. Oh, word. Wow. So he could probably definitely tell you about them. So there was this other place called Planet X. That it was in the heart of Rutgers. And it was now it's a tattoo place, but at the time they were selling records, DVDs, rave stuff, and all of this, and they had B-boy tapes.
So that was either that or in person is where you were able to see it.
That was it.
And it was only Amber because you weren't even in the scene like that yet.
Didn't drive, didn't have any of that. I had girls that we called them sponsors that used to drive us to spots and practice and all that.
Shout out to the sponsors out there. Thank you so much.
Shout out to all the Portuguese
sponsors out there. I still got one of my sponsors' video cameras, bro. Little mini tape. Shout out to her. I hope you don't hear this. You ain't gonna get it back because I lost it allegedly. Right? Hope you can't find me.
I hope you don't tuning in.
But tune in.
But tune in and subscribe.
Yeah, word. Oh man.
So it led me to go, okay, so this particular group of Amboy dudes are acting this way. So let me get to know the other guys. So I got to know this other group called UBB. And it was Mighty Mouse.
Cuban buildings.
Yeah.
They're from the Cuban buildings.
Yeah. So I got to mess with them for a little bit. And we had all heard like the rumors about this little kid named Ralphie at the time. Crazy powerhead. So
he came out of nowhere.
And was way ahead of his time. Way ahead of his time.
Way ahead.
Like Flair to Jackhammer one-handed, like incredible stuff. I remember him dancing in his porch or us going to his like garage.
Yup.
And like throwing down with him every now and then.
That was the first person that I seen that I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, no.
Where did this happen?
I mean, the Rocco Finesse dudes wanted to battle him. Like they were hunting. And I was like,
crazy.
I know where he is.
Oh, who's Don King now?
You know what I mean? I thought it was a trend.
Word, right? Like, hey.
Everybody's doing
What's
it.
good for the goose is good. Remember that? Everybody's doing it.
gander.
What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Damn.
So that was that.
Crazy.
And then I got to know multiple crews within there and dudes that were going solo because Ralphie kind of like floated. He didn't really have a crew, but he was all over the place. And then I remember, I'll give you a quick story. I remember, I think it was you and Oswald.
Osbel, yeah.
Oswell, yeah.
Osbel, I think it's
Osbel?
Osbel. Osbel.
Osbel.
Yeah.
Doing a routine, practicing for a routine with canes.
For the talent show that never came about, it was too hard. We had it locked in. We were doing it to Q-Tip's Vibrant thing.
Well, I remember.
God,
I walked
you're
in.
good. Yo, you're good.
I walked into that practice. It was downstairs in a cellar. And
in his house with the black and white checker linoleum. Yo, you're good, bro. I didn't even know you were there in all these places. Yo, that's crazy.
I was there, and I remember it because it was such a big thing. And then one more for you then.
I want to hear these.
Okay, so I thought, if I'm not mistaken, and please correct me over the air, you guys were Uptown B-Boys first.
Uptown Breakers was already a crew, which was...
That was the one that you wanted to get into.
That's the one I wanted to get into.
Okay, good. Because I had heard about this team.
Yep.
Right? And I went to a party that a homegirl of mine, Tara, was throwing in Hillside, right? They had a DJ, dude was on turntables, rocking it, but nobody was dancing. And I had known a little bit, like I was still a beginner, but I knew a little bit, but I was like,
it's that beginning stage.
I didn't want to just be that dude. I didn't want to be that dude like, hey guys, look at me, I can break dance. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it was like on some more like, when I see somebody throw down, I'm gonna go right in.
I'm gonna go in.
Right.
Yep.
So the DJ had to come out and start dancing. The DJ came out, he started dancing, and then all of a sudden, I realized that homegirl Tara was dating TJ.
TJ Reels.
And TJ came out and threw down a set of flavor, like knee rocks, footwork, or 8-step, like all the way around. I remember it.
He taught me something.
And then I was like, I'm not going in after that. But I never forget it.
He was ahead of his time as well.
Yeah, so like complete round. A complete round. It wasn't like how we were doing it. We're like, yo, I'm gonna throw a quick, crazy move and then be out. Like he had complete from top to bottom. Like, yeah.
It was a progression.
Mm-hmm. With the exclamation point finish with the freeze, and he's out.
He's so good, bro. He raps now.
Yeah?
Yeah, he can rap.
Shout out to him.
Yeah. That's crazy, man.
So I remember all of those things in bits and pieces and how it connected to what I was there.
That's crazy that you remember those stories, bro.
Mm-hmm. Then Popeye became my teacher because Popeye happened. Once I had heard the rumor about Popeye, he was dope. Yeah, ahead of his time.
So powerful with flavor. He had like power flavor.
So he happened to live like walking distance from my house. So he was my first teacher, like teacher, like in the sense of concept. I don't think I really learned one thing, like one particular move from him, except for something called the compass step, which is the strategy, and I use it still to this day to teach my kids.
Like north, south, east, west?
Correct. And how you can create. So you can do moves only from west to the east, but traveling via north. You could do just front side footwork. You could do side. You could, but creating your own vocabulary with that became a thing.
Yeah.
You know, he never on purpose showed me something, I think.
He just
so that I could be my own person, but have the B-boy concept.
Yeah.
And then he took me to New York. And when he took me to New York, we went to LES and we got down with Full Circle. And it was the first time first of all, it was my first trip to New York City. Like, even though, like you know, like on my own without your parents, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like you're leaving
and
high
you're
school.
doing on some B-boy shit.
Yeah, you're taking the train. You're like, it's super New York. You know what I mean? You're like the dream, you know?
Word.
I almost want to say like I didn't want to be too much of a noob, and I put my shell toes away to the side, and I went with the Pumas instead.
Yeah,
like,
you don't want to go out there and be that Burton guy on the mountain.
Exactly.
And you're like, oh, this guy got a Burton snowboard jacket, Burton pants, Burton snowboard, Burton.
You don't do it in basketball. You don't wear the whole suit.
You don't.
Key suspect with that.
Yeah, bro. If you show up with a full Chicago Bulls outfit,
you getting picked last.
That
only because they need
dunk.
Only because
you better be able to dunk on some nice shit.
Exactly. So he took me there. I'll never forget that night because it was something far, far out of this world. Right. At the time, it was very rare for us to get music videos that had b-boys in them. It was the emergence of coming back, and it was KRS-One Rapture, and Quickstep gets the slow motion donuts, and that was like, oh, I want to have power moves. Yeah. And then for me to meet him that day, and even further than that, right? So we're talking maybe like 1999 or 2000, right in that era, right during this time. They're having a practice at LES. Popeye gets me in. He's like, everybody knows him. You know,
yeah,
he's
like,
yo,
Popeye.
He's with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm with him. You know what I mean? Like that type of feeling.
It feels good, right?
Yeah,
You're like, yeah.
He's just walking me through all these spots. I'm like, I ain't got to sign my name. He's like, what are you doing? Don't sign the name. Don't sign the name. Don't sign it. All right. And then you just walk through, right?
You're like,
community centers, right? So we're in. And then like all of a sudden, everybody's up in there that I knew from New York. Like abstract technique, like all these skilled methods. Dudes.
Technique is weird, right? He's so like, it looks so cool that he almost wants to fight everybody. And you're like,
but I did admire that about him.
I did. I loved it.
Yeah,
I loved
it was a love-hate thing.
Yeah, it was like, yo, relax, fam. But then it was also like,
he didn't realize he had fans, and then like his anger took it away, and I was like, man, forget it then. I'm good.
Word, and his anger took it away. But it also did this. I feel like, where when you saw that aggression, if he wasn't about that life, you folded. And I guarantee you, he folded a lot of people.
Bro.
That probably would have been nice, and he just took their soul.
Contortionist fold.
Bro, that's what I mean. So anyway, so you're in there.
So I'm in there, and then they have a special guest because at the time, just like any true hip hop b-boy head, you want to go to the mecca of it, the source of it. You go to New York City.
Yep.
You want to see the underground scene. And at the time, visiting was a guy named Tough Kid. Tough Kid, in that era, already had 10 air flares before the world was really getting popular.
Like air flares. He was doing air flares?
Both ways.
Chill.
Okay? Definitely look him up. He is the like
TOUGH or TUFF?
TUFF.
All right.
Tough Kid. Like from Germany.
I knew I should have went with that spelling first, considering the speed was.
It's okay. Yeah, he's got a brother named I think he has a brother named Benny, who's a part of the Red Bull like flying
BC1.
It's a play. It's a theater piece that combines b-boying, ballet, and remixed Bach music.
What the fuck?
It was phenomenal. I drove all the way to DC to go see that. But that might be.
We digress. We digress.
We bring it back, right? So we're in the place to be, and it's Quick Step and all of this, and I'm like, yo, can you? And at the time, I wanted to learn drops, like different ways to enter, and Quick Step would be like, yo. Nah, I don't teach people no more, but I'm gonna let my student teach you. And he sends me over to Abstract, and then Abstract's like. And I'll never forget it because he's in the middle of giving me this deep conversation because he could get really in deep like that. And he goes, yeah, man, no, you want inspiration? Just watch little kids. Just watch little kids fall. And I was like, oh, that's how you create like new stuff? Yeah, he's like, I do it on purpose. And in the middle of that conversation,
genius.
Right, it is. And my mind is halfway blown because the explosion gets stopped because a guy named London from, you know what? I'm not even gonna say what crew name is because I don't want to butcher it and get it wrong. But everybody knows B-Boy London, old school pioneer head. He came into the practice unannounced.
So everybody's like, oh.
And him and Quick had beef.
That's the best, right?
Oh man, but like real hip hop beef.
Yeah, like
so they started up rocking so close, he cut him. He cut Quick. Bro, and then they started fighting, but everybody else was like, nah, break, man.
Yeah.
And it was like, it just became this whole thing. And I was like, I'm in New York and this is all happening.
This is all your first day.
This must happen every day.
That's what you think, right? And it's like, nah, fam, you just got lucky.
I just walked into the right time and I'll never forget it. You know what I mean?
What the hell? Pull that a little forward.
So they were dealing with that beef. And you know, I'm getting like jewels getting dropped over here, but that's happening there. And I'm like, oh, okay. Wow, you gotta go hardcore when you battle people. You know, like I'm thinking like
because now your whole world's fucked. You're like, oh.
So I come back to Jersey, and that was my mentality. I had to go in hard. So whenever somebody was gonna get it, until I gave up. Like I would battle people for an hour straight if we could keep going.
And it's like one of us are gonna quit. And it ain't me. And then you're like, oh, in your head though, you're like, oh, he better quit.
At the time, I was literally training. I gave up all sports. Yeah. So I was literally training 4 hours every day.
Fuck.
Like we had the fire in us. Like we were like
was crazy.
The first team, and I don't know, you must remember him. Tattoo. Rich. He had a brother named Roberto. It was Richie, Ricardo. And they lived in Fords as well.
Oh, Bobby and Ricardo?
Yeah.
Bro, Bobby.
Okay, so that was where we first trained.
That's my brother. I just did it. I filmed his gender reveal real quick. The other day, like he's having he had a boy, now he's going to have a girl. Shout out to Bobby. Shout out to Elite Tinting, bro. If you
the Medina family.
Sidebar. Yes, sir. You want some real tints done? Go over there. You're going to pay $99, and your shit's going to bubble up at wherever you go. Elite Tinting.
This is better.
Look him up. You get what you pay for. Shout out to him.
So we used to throw down a piece of linoleum on his grass lawn, right on King George Road.
Yup, the blue house.
So blue house. Right there is where we practiced, on grass with linoleum. So we were practicing all the craziest stuff because it was like padding. So we were head sliding across, like cars passing by us and just watching us, like making all these things happen.
That's crazy.
So we had our first crew was that, like, and it was called Running Rebels.
Yo,
the double R at the time. It was like Rough Riders were out, and we were like, oh, double R. Like,
Running Rebel.
We took the UNLV sign, and we took the Running Rebels.
Oh, shit. What was Ricardo's B-boy name? Enigma?
At the time, we were just still trying to find ourselves.
Yeah, it's weird. It goes through a thing. Luckily, I got my name and I stuck with it.
Yeah.
But
no, and it was fitting.
It was fitting, right? But I
fitting.
spelled it wrong. I wanted to spell it a different
Spelled
way.
it hip hop.
I know, but because this is what I mean. I watched Teen Wolf with Michael J. Fox.
Yeah, of course.
Remember his homie Styles with the black leather jacket that drove the van? He was all crazy and cool. My favorite movie is Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I like that whole, I don't care, let's live free, forget tomorrow, let's have fun, don't be mad, don't stress out, let's just party. As long as you don't hurt nobody, let's just party. So I was like, yo, Styles is crazy. So that's why I picked the words. That's why I picked Styles. Just because of that. It had nothing to do with even B-Boy. It was just because he had a carefree life.
But
So
let me
I
tell
spelled
you,
it with a Y.
it IDs you.
That's
It
crazy.
IDs you full fold. It definitely IDs you, especially throughout history. Your main focal point has been the style portion of the art. Some people go with technical, some people go with the practical, or some people go with the entertainment life of it. Some people go with straight up, I'm just a practice dude. I just want to have the skill. Like they never come out and they were just incredible people, but you're like,
Or straight gymnast power now. Like,
correct.
it
That's
got
what I
that
mean.
level,
Like
yeah.
I just wanted to get to that level. I don't really have a purpose with it.
That's weird.
But I just do it. To me,
I
it
respect
is.
them. I
To me, it
respect
is.
it because they're still putting in the effort. So it's like, but
Yeah, that ain't easy.
that ain't easy.
It ain't easy.
But it's like,
some things that maybe in our lifetime we won't get to do.
yes, and they do
And
it
they've
and they'll
achieved
show it.
but they don't show it. It's
is
like,
like, what
I
are you
tell them,
doing?
I'm like, yo, it's like having the most brilliant, shining diamond you could have in the closet, and nobody ever sees it.
Yeah, and you're like, the best cut in the world. Nobody's gonna even see that
The
cut.
freshest kicks, but you never wear them. That's where I'm at with that. But
Word. Yo, so that's crazy, man. We
So
get
that-
from Fords, and then from Fords it went to and then it was Fords before you went to St. Mary's, though, I think, though,
Yeah.
right? Because when I seen you at St. Mary's, you were already nice. Like you were
I
already
was-
like,
See, my teacher at the time was VHSs.
yeah.
I
So
was
it
the
like,
dude
yeah.
that was ahead of the game because I had more VHSs. You know how DJs do the dusty fingertip searching?
Yep, they're digging.
I was digging for VHSs. So I had my first ever VHS was Battle of the Year 97. You know what I mean? So
You know
my
which one
mind
I'm
was
trying-
power moves. It was style elements.
I want to ask you something about Battle
Sure.
of the Year.
Sure. I've
What?
been to it.
Where?
20th year anniversary. I got to go.
Where
I
was
went
it at?
in Germany.
You went
It was
there
my first trip to Germany.
just for that?
Just for that. I went by myself to Europe.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
Just for Battle of the Year? Wow.
It had that much history for me.
Yep.
Because it was my first VHS, it inspired me. And the fact that at the time, my teacher, Quickstep, was one of the judges. So eventually, I knew that we would meet up, but I did everything by myself. Didn't speak any German. I would just point at a map, drop some coins. Didn't know how to do it. Like it was an incredible experience. Shout out to Thomas and the whole Six Step company that took care of me when I was out there for the 20th anniversary. They took care of me like royalty, just in case if this blows up that big and they could hear me. That they took care of me. It was like a 5 to 6 day event.
Damn.
It came with workshops, after parties, locking, like all of this stuff. And then it led to the culminating day at the stadium where, I kid you not, it was the Olympics of b-boying.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh,
I had back seats and everything. They
Backstage
took care of me
passes, all
because
that.
I was full circle. Just on the strength that I was like that they knew that I was Quickstep student, they like took care of me. So I'm having dinner with like Salah, Storm, Roxrite, Quickstep, like all these incredible
And you're there
b-boys.
just like
And I'm like, word.
trying to soak it all in, and you're like, I want everything from the energy to the not moves, because
Yeah, it was
I want we
knowledge.
make our own, but it's just
History.
like the vibe of like, yeah, this is what I'm meant to be doing. Like I'm meant to be here right now.
Yep.
Like I am meant to be here. So now, which Battle of the Year was Funky, Gross and Griffs? Do you remember that crew?
Had to be before. Had to be before the ones that I've seen.
I might have gone back to like
96, 95.
maybe.
I got the Style Elements one where they won, where they just changed the game. Where it was what everybody believes to be old school, like in a circular pattern. they came in and destroyed all of that. They were like, we're just going to just splat paint on this canvas. We're no longer going to move in a circle.
And you went 97 was your first one?
No. That was my VHS. That was
the
what
VHS
inspired
was
me.
97. Which one was the one where they had the robots? Remember when they turned all the lights down? And they had like eyeballs like flashlights for eyeballs, and they flicked them up, and it was just eyes.
Was it a performance?
Oh, it was the performance part. You know how Battle of the Year?
You had to qualify. You do a 6 minute. You do a 6 minute crew performance, and based on your difficulty, you get to go to the battle.
Yes,
it says the top 4.
So the performance was a crew that they turned all the lights off. They dressed all in black, and they had eyeballs were just glowing on stage. It looked like cats, right? And then the lights came on and they killed it. Funky Gross and Grits was another one where the dude had. You might have not seen it.
Yeah, and I thought I had seen them like a lot of them.
The dude had a gray sweatpants, long sleeve maroon/red shirt, and he had a maroon Scully with the, you know how the Scullys, the football Scullys now, come with the little fur balls on top?
The poof. The little poof ball.
He had that on. And he's rocking. I think they were from like Germany or somewhere. But bro, that was the dopest year, and I can't find it. I spent one day like 5 hours respelling Funky Gross and Grits with extra S, with a RF, with a F, and I can't find it.
Okay, I'll do my homework. I'll do my research.
Funky Gross and Grits, something like that. I even remember the song. I think it might have been Style Elements that came out with.
Yo, Style Elements, just like there comes a time in like on a hip hop timeline where certain things are going, trends are going, and all of a sudden somebody else just breaks the mold.
Yes.
You know, we peak, it flatlines, and all of a sudden reemerging, something else comes out of them, and you're just like,
I think Style Elements did that.
Absolutely. For those times, that whole West Coast invasion took over all of our like.
I didn't really like Remind too much, but Chromes though.
I went through my phases. I loved them all.
Yeah, there was times where I was like, I think when Remind lost me with the dead fish, and I was like, oh, this guy. Who was the locker they had? Tall, skinny dude.
Tommy Boy.
How nice was he? Remember the shit where he went in and out of the fence, the wooden fence?
He was incredible. Oh. He was incredible. And so all of those VHSs molded like what I was doing, because like I had to learn from somewhere. And to be quite honest, I've never revealed it before ever. And I'll say it now. You know what I mean? Here in All Walks of Life. So obviously I didn't want to use like what all the guys were doing, because then it would be biting.
Yep.
So I used to watch all the B-girls and then flip what they were doing.
Get the hell
I was like,
out.
oh, I could do that harder. I could do a better move than that. Or I see where they're going with that, but I would have done it this way. So I would flip that. Because B-girls at the time had to be being taught by B-boys.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was like my way like to
them.
backtrack and like be like, I'm still getting it from that source. I know that that's that student, but I'm gonna learn it down.
Yeah, it's like I'm getting it from that teacher, but I'm getting it from the student rather than the teacher.
Right.
And so now it's almost like it can't be really biting because I done flipped the teacher to the student to me. It went so far
You
down
can't
the
recall
chain.
the source.
You can't.
Right, but you can see where the influence was.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
which I pay homage to. I definitely can say that as a dancer, there isn't much that I've created on my own, but I am a collector of history and vocabulary of our culture. And that's what I'm dedicating my life to now with my students, my hundreds of students that I have now. And I teach them. I don't teach them, well, I do it like this, so learn like this. No. I say, this is a West Coast 3-step. This is a Ken Swift 3-step. This is a Spy 3-step. This is that. So if you want more, this is where you go find out about that.
What you like, here's the OG.
I give them the sampler platter.
That's smart.
I give them the sampler platter, and wherever they want to go, I feed them more information to where they can take it. Oh, you're the flexible style? Yo, before you could even check out this dude Rubber Legs, or go throw back into like Roland and all these circus guys.
Remember Roland, when Roland came on the scene? I seen him live. He was nobody.
Yep. I seen him live at Freestyle Session and all of that.
And I was like, I think it was Rocksteady I seen him. It might have even been a smaller type event.
And you guys were talking about that with Irv about the Rocksteady. And I was there. I still have the pictures. Bro. I have all of that. But, just letting you know that.
That was so... I probably got pictures somewhere.
Bro, Crazy Legs couldn't stop giving you props because you had the Puerto Rico flag on your shirt.
Yeah, remember that?
It was a big-ass shirt.
Big shirt. Everything was huge.
It was ghost-like.
Yo, I started the long tee concept, bro. I was out here. Everybody in Newark, pay homage with your long white tees, bro.
Super long
Me,
tee.
I started
It was you that really repped and Boogie Tim. Because Boogie Tim went all the way to the semis against Technique. And we go right back to Technique.
Back to Technique.
And they kept going rounds and rounds and rounds and rounds of overtime. But I'll never forget it.
That's crazy. So it went from Ford's, then you got up with Popeye, and then after Popeye, you just went
Souljerz full in.
It was
I went
after that.
Battling everybody.
Yup.
And then I battled this kid named Sleepy from Souljerz Crew.
Rock up.
White Sleepy, because in our crew we must make it very clear. It's very confusing. In our crew we have a Sleepy, a Sneezy, and a Tweety.
Yes.
So I can see where this goes, right? Joe Schiffenhaus.
Yes. No. Now I know who you're talking about.
So
I know who you're talking about.
It was being from Jersey. You were a club kid. You were a party kid. You were a party kid. It didn't matter what you were. At the time, we couldn't get breakdance music, b-boy music. No. We couldn't get it. The only thing that we could have were perfect breaks, and it was a cassette.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother story of how we almost got robbed by trying to get a DJ to make a b-boy mix in Asbury. But that's a whole nother story.
That's why I danced to hard hip hop, because I was already a hard hip hop fan, and that's why I was just like, listen, I'm dancing with Osbell in the basement to Jedi Mind Tricks.
See, I wish I would have known about that. You know what we were dancing to? This is why I guess that shows our difference of where you were with raw hip hop flavor and we were more like on entertaining big moves. We were listening to Newark house CDs. We didn't have any other thing and we knew that was like available.
You know what's crazy? Now that I know and now that I'm looking back and I'm like taking like mental snaps of my memories, I could see the style being, I call it happy, right? Breakdancing to me was not happy. I was happy. I loved doing it. But when it came to somebody I didn't know, it was war. I looked at it like, if you're not in the crew, it's war. So, but when I dance to that, how do you expect me not to have that attitude? I'm out here boot camp, Jedi Mind Tricks, Necro, nonfiction,
and I'm like the witch doctor. And I'm like,
yeah,
is it all over my face?
Work. You know what I mean? I did start off to a Friday night at the Fun House. That's what I used to dance to.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
But they were the Uptown Breakers that listened to that. But they were they were still under the music. Right. I was like, all right, I get it. But I saw it making me do this. And I'm like, bro, I kind of want to like.
Right.
So then I was like, nah. And then I found hip hop, like hard hip hop. And I'm like, oh, shoot. Like, whoa. And that's how it got it, like a more aggressive. But in my own head, I'm aggressive. I didn't know if it came off like that. But in my head, I was like putting war paint on.
See, it took me a while because the party scene took over.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to find other dancers at parties. So I went to all the teen clubs.
This was before Souljerz.
This is before Souljerz.
Yeah.
This is before Souljerz. This was how Souljerz Crew came about.
Yeah, I want to hear
this
that.
is how it came about.
Because I never got the full, because obviously I've known you way before Souljerz.
Right.
And I never understood how Souljerz is so, and that's Souljerz as in zebra, to get it right. Shout out to Souljerz.
Yo,
look them up. They're everywhere, bro.
I think I actually still have our first business card, but I'll hold on.
No way.
Yeah. One-sided.
Yeah, that was before Vistaprint.
Yo.
Shout out to Vistaprint.
So at
if
the
you
time,
want to be a sponsor, hit me up at the AWOLpod@gmail.com. So
affiliate link.
Yeah, word, right? Oh shit.
So at the time, it was all about going to these teen clubs, because we were under 18.
Yeah, what are we gonna do?
And these teen clubs were popping up sporadically in places, but one place that it was constant was down the shore. It was at Seaside.
Yeah.
So it was called Club Excess and Club Temptations. All right. So we would go out there we would drive like 50 minutes or whatever it was to get down there just to go to the club. And that ended at like midnight or something like that. So like we would drive all the way down there just for those 4 hours or whatever, 5 hours that we could do. And the plan was, everybody knew the plan. You go in, you battle everybody, and then you try to take their girl. That was the plan.
Ooh, I like that plan.
That was what we lived for. The weekends was for that.
I like that plan.
Yo, we would spot out where the dancers are, like put on a show. You know what I mean?
And like,
do it up.
You want a water?
After that, they just came to you. It was bam bam. Like that was it. So through that,
and you come with that up north swag too. Oh, ya tú sabes,
and at the time, it was in season the black wife beaters.
Yo,
we were in that DMX phase. You know what I mean? Like,
bro, everybody, who get at me, dog? Yo, it's crazy.
So you already had the black wife beater on, the black tank top on, tight,
killing them.
So one day, Sleepy shows up with 2 other dudes, and my homie had like a pair of Timbs on, so he wasn't rocking, and I just had to battle 3 guys by myself, and we went for like 45 minutes, close to an hour.
What?
Straight.
2 versus 3?
And then after that, Sleepy was like, yo, I'll battle with you anytime. And we got to know each other, blah, blah, and we developed a friendship.
Word.
Right? Fast forward to a couple of weeks later, he calls me. He's like, yo, I was at this club and I got jumped in the circles, blah, blah. Get at me. Come on, come with me. We go after these guys.
Oh, shit.
And it was against y'all.
No, was it?
It was against y'all. So he brought me to that. And
in Seaside, I did that?
No, this was in Sayreville.
Oh, Hunka Bunka.
That little room, in the little room.
Hunka Bunka or Chrome?
Yeah. No.
Hunka Bunka with
but
the
it was in the little room.
Slate.
You know how they had the big room and then they had the little room?
Yes.
It was in there. It was in there where I was like, oh. And then I'm thinking in my mind, St. Mary's payback.
Word. Yo.
So
that's
I
crazy
was
how you hold the, like, it's crazy. Go ahead.
because I never got to see you again.
I know.
It wasn't like there was practices or community practices.
Nah, it was just
everybody was underground and working on their craft.
Damn, so you rolled up to Hunka Bunka.
And then I saw
that
you.
That was Stingrays. Hunka Bunka. No, Hunka Bunka was over there by...
Stingrays.
Stingrays is
Hunka Bunka
different.
was past the train tracks and you had that big old factory.
By the Wawa.
Mm-hmm.
Yup.
Mm-hmm. Stingrays was after...
Birch Hill.
Stingrays. Right. Damn. Right. Bro. That was
That's the first time I'd seen Mike.
Wow. That's the first time I won a dance contest at a club.
That's the first place I won a rap battle. That's
it was
crazy.
a beautiful place.
Shout out to
Stingrays. and then it happened to be my project graduation until somebody drowned in the pool. And then they closed the whole place down and now they're like
crazy
apartments.
In that Tina, I seen wild stuff in Stingrays. Mm-hmm. And I seen things that I was like, well, I won't be doing that in my life.
But you knew that was club culture.
Oh yeah, I knew.
Like,
and that was just the beginning of it.
And I loved it.
I'm not
gonna lie, I loved
it. Because now I knew I was like, don't take that. Mm-hmm. Don't do that. Don't drink that. Don't take that. Because look at nope, I'm good.
But you knew from the start, all walks of life would be in there.
I know. And that's so good. Because I was in there like, oh, shit. Mm-hmm. So you showed up to Hunka Bunka and it was me and who?
And Juanito. And he was like, yeah, they jumped me. And I was
Where did we battle him? Where did we battle Sleepy
the previous night there. The previous week at the spot.
At Hunka Bunka.
So my man, literally, this is how much devotion this man had. He lived in like Morristown area.
Exit 35 off 287.
He would drive down to pick me up, bring me to the battle, bring me back, and drive back home the same night.
Bro.
And then show up to work the next morning. He was a beast at that. Then after that, we battled you guys. Then we started building a team, right? And then he was like, all right, we're going to go to Pennsylvania now. I heard there's B-boys out there for another teen night. We would drive all the way to Pennsylvania just to go to a teen night, right? And
that breakdancers were there.
And it was called Amnesia. Right? There was Amnesia, and then there was another one in Allentown that we were at where mad Puerto Ricans are at.
Word.
Yo,
Allentown.
Mad Puerto Ricans were out there, right? So everybody at the time, if I'm not mistaken, Whoa was out.
Black Rob.
Everything whoa, and everybody pulling up in Lexuses and all of this.
And that was the best. Acura, Act Vigors.
Everybody, right,
yeah,
right.
Act Vigors.
With the window that came down at an angle. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about?
that when it went down, the front dipped down, and you had the.
That's the time.
Yeah, shout out to the pyramid windows.
Shout out to anybody who had 20s and 19s trying to hide it that they 20s.
Word, right? The 19s stretching it. When he should have just went for the 20s because 19s are a way harder tire to get, more expensive. He should have just went 18 or 20.
It didn't last that long. It didn't last
19s, you're like, yo, bro, you only get 19s.
But he got pictures of it. But he got pictures.
Does he?
Yeah. And I have the pictures. So we started building. So we're in this place.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I'm breaking in the circles going out. And this dude comes out and starts dancing. It's like, all right, you could B-boy. So we go round and round and round and round and B-boy. All right, looks like we're running out of moves in b-boying. You start popping. You got some popping in you too. All right, bet. Boom, 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 boom. And we mixed it up. At the time, we didn't know popping and locking and all that, but we did it.
Yeah.
We're like, you could do that style too. Then it was finally like, I could dance with girls too. And he was like, so can I. And I was like, did we just become crew members?
What?
And it was Irv.
No.
So I met Irv by battling him because Sleepy took me all the way over there. So I met even though Irv was from Jersey, I met him battling there.
Wow.
So we were like, this team right here is already looking good. And then we had other people. We had this dude named CeeLo, who was like crazy dude, but he had nasty turtles and all that. And then they had a crew. So we started combining these like riffraff, like outsiders.
Yeah.
Like putting it together.
Kamikazes.
Yep.
And then make a platoon out of a bunch of kamikazes. And that's why Souljerz is so strong.
We've always recruited the best out of other crews that fell off. We were like, you deserve a home. And we can provide you that home. You know what I mean? Because when we saw you guys, we were like, dude, they're free agents. Let's make an off-season trade here. Let's get them. You know what I mean? Like,
yup. And that's crazy because it went from Uptown Breakers, and that's when I was solo. I was trying to get an Uptown, and I got in. Josh Knuckles was a free agent. He never had a crew. I think to this day, well, actually, I take that back.
Well,
I am so sorry. He's gonna be so mad.
Well, you guys
I take
were
that
a
back.
team.
He was a free agent at a point, and then I left Uptown Breakers because they stopped life is life, and I'm like, I'm so addicted. I'm like, I'm not stopping this. Then I got a job at McDonald's, and Josh was there, and I was like, word.
I used to go see him there.
Word, and then I was like, yo, what's up? And he's like, yo, you want to do this? Let's do this. He would come to my house every day and we breakdance in my house. And this is another reason why I don't have power. Because my mom, shout out, I love you, Mom. She was like, listen, you could breakdance in the living room. I'll go watch TV in the kitchen. You could do whatever you want. If one of y'all kick my couch, though, we're going to have problems. But she let us live for 3 hours in a tight living room. There was no room for power.
Makes sense.
So I had to just, if this is the only space I have to take advantage of the space, and I need to control this amount of space. And that's how it was just all
you were ahead of the game. You're already doing small room challenges. That's
real.
a thing now. With quarantining, that's a thing.
Word. I'll probably murder it right here. I could murder a phone booth, right? So, right? So
exactly.
So then it was like, then we started the ill ones. And that's when it was like word. And it was me and him. And then Juanito was Cuban Buildings. But Juanito was their free agent. He rocked with them, but he was kind of like, I ain't got anybody.
He had his own rumor. Like the whole air chair thing was like, you heard about this guy who just leaned back and could hold it. And we didn't even know what it was, an air chair.
It wasn't even a thing. And you're like, yo, don't try that.
So I'm another person that co-signs that brother manifested that move by himself with no other influences.
Shout out to Irv for bringing that idea out for which is probably what Souljerz talks about, like manifestations of moves. Because I never thought about it like that. Like I don't think I originated anything, but if
we're gonna get to you in a minute. My story continues, but we're gonna get to you in a minute. So I got one for you that you probably forgot.
Probably. Okay,
big one in my life. Bigger one in my life.
Hold that thought.
Yeah. Oh, right? No, don't worry. That's got its own segment.
Yeah. So then it went from that, and then Juanito was Renegade, and I was like, he's nice. He's weird. It was weird because he was doing stuff. It was kind of like, I don't want to say sloppy because it was calculated, right? But it was not technical.
He took a lot of risk.
That's the word.
He took a lot of risk with his moves. His moves were risky.
And you knew. That's what I mean. Not sloppy. They were risky.
Right.
And I was
because
like,
he didn't execute them a lot, but at the same time, he took way more risk than any normal b-boy.
So
would.
landing the trick or not, I was like, oh, I'm not even going to attempt it.
Or like the way that he would like invert and hold himself upside down. Like where his body would collapse.
And it was like
it would just collapse in a way that he wouldn't die.
And it was like quick. And it was like, what? And then you're like, and then he'd hold it. And then you'd be like, wait, how did he get there? Mm-hmm. And that's what I was like, yo, Juanito, what's up? You down with the ill ones? And then we recruited Jacob, the light.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Then we had my homie Blaze. Who else?
Oh, yeah. Big boy.
Yeah, big boy, white boy, big boy.
Yeah. Shout out
Puerto
to
Rican
him.
white boy.
Yep.
And then that
I went
happened.
to school with him.
Did you?
Yeah, I went to school with him.
Where?
In the Woodbridge area. He was there first.
David? Mm-hmm. He went to Woodbridge?
I don't know if he got transferred over or whatever, but a lot of y'all Amboy dudes got kicked out of school and came to Woodbridge.
That's probably what happened to him. Blaze don't play.
Thank God for that, because that's how I met Robert.
That's crazy. Oh, yeah, word. I remember that.
That's how that
So
happened.
then it was the ill ones, and then that happened, and then that Josh moved. Life went on. I'm still cool with Juanito. I've seen him yesterday. I'm going to see him go airsofting tomorrow. That's the Jacob. Shout out to Jacob. That's my brother. David, that's my brother. But then it was that. But then they, life is life. And then it was like, oh, Souljerz is a crew. And I seen y'all, and it was like, oh, this is an organization. Mm-hmm. This is...
Right.
But don't get it fucked up. I'm a curse. Don't get it fucked up.
Right.
We throw down on this.
Anybody
side.
can still get it.
Yeah.
But we were definitely about that money at that time.
But it was about the money. But the thing is, there's a bunch of murderers over there, son. Watch your mouth. Watch your moves. Don't come over here playing.
Right.
So then, all right. So then Sleepy, Irv, you started Souljerz.
We started Souljerz. So we...
And who, there was somebody else you said, I don't want to leave him out.
CeeLo, Carlos.
Yep, my bad.
And he came from a crew called Concrete Souljerz. Or Concrete Soul, something like that. And then we were like, yo, we want to be a part of it. But then he was like, nah, I can't do that. I got another team. So we were Concrete Souljerz for a while. I still have the shirt.
No.
I still have the shirt.
I still got my original Souljerz shirt, bro.
I got Concrete Souljerz shirt. And then we moved to just being Souljerz.
Which
Sleepy.
I'm so jealous of that name.
Sleepy
good.
Sleepy came up with that. Now, let's get into technical and law terms. There's another group of Souljerz out there. Did you ever know that?
I felt like I might have seen that one time.
They're a DJ and they play house music. They're a DJ crew that they play house music.
At least they do that.
So it didn't interfere with us in that sense, but that's why it helped us become from a street team to become an LLC. And it became Souljerz Dance Entertainment.
Yep.
Because at the time, we loved entertaining people. We were already getting in the mix of shows. I had some of my mentors at the time in business were teaching me like how to be at the top level of what you should be asking for. Kathleen Isaac, shout out to her. She's one of the heads, like bigger heads up there in the Hunter University dance program. And at the time she was teaching me, she was with the New York City DOE. So like her and I are the co-writers of the hip hop curriculum in New York City for K through 12. If they've never done b-boying in their lives and they're using the handbook that is called Hip Hopping Through the Blueprints, it is our technique.
Shout out to you.
So like
and everybody else. But
yeah.
Shout out to you as my homie.
So,
shout out to you.
So she showed me how to do that and set the bar up high and how to get this business thing going. Wow. So we were like, yo, let's get this money. And like, instead of getting cash, now companies started coming after us with checks. So how could we deposit it in a personal account? So we were like, yo, we need to
LLC it.
So one of our crew members, Rod, at the time,
I think I remember him.
Colombiano, and his brother Johnny Steele.
Yep.
Okay. So he is an insurance dude. So his company hooked us up and showed us the way to form an LLC and how to do this.
Word.
So that's when we were like, all right, bet. Now we can go full on and get these checks.
Yes.
And we can provide it. So we didn't get to go to a lot of jams. So that's where a lot of cats didn't get to get it. But so it was do a performance and the clubs. Clubs stayed constant no matter what.
Yep.
So that was really
Deco, it got into that.
So that's where we're going.
Is that where we're going?
This is where we're going.
Oh, man.
So through these years, we're building these teams. We get a couple of like loners out there that are causing trouble, like Mikael, like Sneezy. Sneezy came from another crew. I think he was the only brother out of a whole Filipino crew in Rawway. We grabbed him up because like and it was a homie, Hubert and Robert. I don't know if you remember them. And they had another kid, Lance, Filipinos, yo.
Lance, glasses.
Yeah.
Black dude. Dreads. Well, now he got dreads.
Yo.
Lance wasn't black?
No, that's another Lance.
Oh, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah,
he had
of course.
All right.
He was out in Japan for a long time. He was out in Japan doing a lot. Him and Scheme Richards were together a lot, doing a lot of things.
Wow.
Yeah.
He was cool with
Christian.
What was his
Christian
name?
too.
Remember the dude that had the tattoos? Julio?
Julio, you know me. We see him every Sunday.
Where?
At Irv Spot. Move and Groove on Sundays at
Julio's around?
Pluto, Muggsy. Yo, if you check the video that I just made of the recap, he's throwing 2000s in like Adidas slips and chancletas.
No way.
Still
I'm
same
so
Julio.
happy he's around, bro.
Yep, he's just
he was
getting back
so
into
humble.
He's just getting back into it.
so cool, son.
Everybody's still getting back into it again.
Wow.
Those that didn't for a little while.
Oh, life is great.
Yeah. So
Life ain't great for everybody. Which, sure, but you know what? We got to appreciate the good times. Life is great.
And you probably did it to yourself.
Possibly. Word up. Possibly.
So somewhere along the line.
Somewhere along the line.
So we're building, and we're feeling all these different dancers that are not exactly where they want to be with their teams at the time. You know? Certain people are meant to be at a certain place, and they're not maybe meant to go with you because, like you said, life happens and other things occur. So we get big. We get into the club scene. We get into the Abyss scene. We get sponsored by Club Abyss.
Yep, I remember the shirts.
Right?
Cut off.
So the shirt had the emblem in the front, right, which is Souljerz Crew. In the back, it said, "I can dance better than you."
Yo.
We were stirring up the pot for trouble.
I know. That was clickbait before clickbait.
Before there was even a mouse pad.
That was clickbait.
Exactly.
That was like, yo, I could dance better.
Because we were looking for it.
Yeah.
We were looking for it.
That's what you were getting paid for, though.
Yeah.
It was looking to start dancing and
create a circle within the club.
Yep.
So we're actually getting paid and getting noticed and free entrances and all these different benefits from it. So at Club Abyss, which was a big club at the time, Funk Flex was a norm there. Costa and all of these guys were really doing big things.
I even think Kid Cudi used to spin there, no?
Huge. It was huge. Anybody who was anybody was being brought there.
Yep.
Like, because they owned, it was Abyss, and across the street was Perle. Not Perle. Deco.
Or before that was Paradise Lounge, and then it went to Deco.
Right. So
but our run was Deco, yeah.
And I mean, we can talk about all the greats you want, and I've even been there multiple times where I've seen DJ AM spin live on records, and Mr. C hold the mic and bow down to the man. So
Big Pun performed there.
Exactly. So big moves were happening. We're sponsored by this. And so there was the big main room, club hard music. Downstairs was reggae and hip hop.
Yep.
We had this little area that we were already
tacos
by the kitchen area.
It was so good.
It was the transition between the two rooms, but it was house. It was like soul, like it was beach paradise. I don't know.
It was good.
It was really good vibes. And sure enough, that's where we stayed for the most part.
Yeah.
It became so big that one night that I'll never forget.
Oh no.
A homeboy came from Arizona, and his name was Beetle. And this dude had incredible power, like amazing abilities and all of this, like hoo-ha, eye candy. And sure enough, something happened in which you and him had some rounds. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I know what you're capable of. I know what this dude can do.
Yeah.
So I'm like, how are these two things going to pair up?
Apples and oranges.
Right. It was like pineapples and oranges.
Yeah, it's like apples and skyscrapers.
Sweet and citrus.
Yeah.
Like, it was totally two different flavors, right? And sure enough, I'm thinking this dude's gonna come out, and because it's a crowd-based thing, there's no judges, it's not underground, it's at a club.
Yeah.
So most of the time, you're winning votes off of girls and dudes. That, you know what I mean? Like eye candy.
Yeah, I want that. I'm looking at the shorty. I'm like, oh,
they get caught up.
The dudes don't like me. My bad.
They get caught up with all the power. They don't really see the technical, you know, the detail, the intricacies. You know. So this battle happens. And you, like, I don't even know how to explain it, like, besides, like, something that relative to everyone, it was straight Super Saiyan mode. Like, you just the blonde hair came out. Like, your energy was, like, at 1,000. Wow. And you smoked this dude so bad. It was, like, an upset, like, unheard of. And it just reminded me, time and time again, you could do all the power moves in the world, but if you ain't got flavor, you ain't winning.
Yeah.
I'll never ever forget that.
For real?
It was him, and then there was like these Spanish kids that were just doing hand hops and all that. Yo, you weren't even fazed by it. Because me being like a trend dancer, like follower, I was like, oh damn, you can do this, you can do that.
Yeah.
You know, that's difficult. You were like, pfft. I didn't even think I talked to you because you were so in the zone and ready to rock.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? How come I don't remember? It's like glimpses. Maybe because I'm in it.
Yo, Souljerz Crew, after you watch this, put in the comments when you were there. Because I know we were all there. So write it in the comments after you see this video.
Damn.
I'll never forget it. That dude went home with his tail behind his legs.
He was like, oh, I thought I had this in the bag. See, I love that part, right? When you could just, I think I might have blacked. Because if I don't remember, I probably blacked. I probably just blacked out.
So, like, let's say, like, you have your signature moves. Yep. And one of the biggest signature moves that you have was a front sweep to ninja. Right? Which you might not know what the terminology is. Ninja freeze is the freeze. Like the 360 into the...
Oh, I call it corkscrews.
Okay, a corkscrew. Call it what you want.
Yeah,
sure.
Corkscrews.
Ninja freeze, yeah? So... Bro, you normally throw it here. That day, you were so hyped.
I floated.
For you, in the sense of the move, it was thrown at a different stratosphere. Damn. And it landed like that's how vivid I remember it.
That's crazy.
And it was just like, I think I ran and gave you the biggest hug in the world because I was just like, yo,
it's
David and Goliath right now just happened. And the giant just went down with the slingshot. Like,
damn.
You know what I mean? Like, it was like that.
And that move I practiced for so long, and I never, even to this day, I never got it. I never got it to where I want it, because I would always get the whoop, which I would consider like a half rotation. I wanted like a double. Which is it's like some ungbak.
Oh no, they're already doing it.
Oh, are they doing?
There is a challenge happening right now. The first
out of
person,
a crawl.
No,
I mean out of a
it's from
footwork?
a stand up. It's from a stand up position. They're giving away $10,000 to the first person that can throw double air flare, because that's basically what you're saying. You want to do 2 rotations in the air and land.
Yeah,
they're giving away Too Hard to Bite. It's called. It's giving away $10,000 to that.
Hold that thought.
Just for all of y'all that didn't believe me out there, one of our first ever business cards. As you can see, I wasn't lying. One-sided only. That's all that we could do. That's all that we had, but you had to make it happen. I'm going to leave that there for Styles. I was just playing elevator music in the meantime.
Word. We back. Yo, but that's crazy though, man.
Yeah.
That you
I can't believe that we could just do that. Like, I love that we could just do that. That was great.
They wouldn't even know.
Wow. Look at that perfect condition that it's in. It's still in good condition.
That's crazy.
That's history. We were trying to, like, make everything ourselves. We had a buddy of ours that created the logo. I think that's Sleepy on the first logo doing the freeze. Then the second one is me in our logos, and how we evolve. We always use each other for the logos. So continuing on, right? Continuing on, things started going really well. So we're notorious in our Jersey scene, club scene. At the time, I was still already going out to shelter and all of that on the back end of things. So that helped develop a lot.
That's when I think at that time, after the Abyss and Deco, not after, during, is when I started my shelter run. That's when I found Deep House.
Yeah, you came on a little bit later.
I was late.
My first time, I think it was like 99. I went to shelter. It was
way later than that.
Right outside of the Holland Tunnel.
Yeah, I was way later.
It was incredible. So things were going good. We started picking up momentum. We got this LLC going. We get picked up with the whole Edge Productions. We started doing shows.
Powerhouse, right?
We have all of these different shows happening, and then and at the same time we were getting entertainment. We were like starting the next generation of entertainment with bar mitzvahs, sweet 16s, or whatever, where they would pay us a little extra to throw down some rounds, and then we started seeing like we could just get paid and do tours with dinner shows. And so a company saw us and was like, yo, I'm doing these martial arts DVDs and it's going really well for me. You guys are amazing. I would love to have you guys on for my series with b-boying, with breaking. And sure enough, right? Lo and behold, this DVD right here.
Oh my God.
How to Break Dance 101 came about. Yes, the entire team is there. Irv, Sneezy, Magnificent, Glenn, Mikael, Irv, Marcos, aka Styles, myself.
I can't believe I forgot I had a part in that, bro.
Just letting y'all know, I made him old school style. I burned him a copy. Right? I burned him a copy. This was sold out in the major market. We had a buyout settlement. We signed a contract, got paid,
crazy.
Filmed it all in one day. It was
Song did come from it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It sold.
Shoot.
I saw it for sale online.
Get out.
Yeah.
I did it, walked away from it that day, like, that's it. That job was done. That's crazy.
It came through. In which you gave personal instruction on drops, which I definitely gave you a glance.
And we watched it before we came in here.
Mm-hmm.
I have selective memory. I was talking like I was a professional. That's crazy.
Well, define a professional is someone who gets paid to do what they're good at.
True. But it sounded it sounded corporate.
Well,
and to me, breakdancing or b-boying.
Right.
See, there's the difference. See,
absolutely.
There's just like yin yang. There's b-boying, and then there's breakdancing.
Correct.
There's rapping. Then there's MCing. So there's like you could be a rapper. That's fine, but you're not an MC though.
Correct.
And you could be a breakdancer.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Doesn't necessarily mean you're a b-boy.
Doesn't necessarily mean you're a b-boy. But that one is a little bit more. It's a more delicate road to travel when it comes to...
It's a grayer line.
Yes, because you can't be a... Listen, if you're trash, you're not going to get paid for break dancing. Right. So you already got to be good. And if you're good, chances are you were a b-boy first. You get me? And this day, it could probably be different. Back in the day, there was no money.
I think personally, there is the difference. The b-boy lives it. The breakdancer practices it.
But I feel like back then there was no. At first, it was just b-boy.
Right.
There was no separation.
Right.
Then the separation came. But you think that separation is still there?
Absolutely. There are certain people that it. Okay. So let's go there. There are certain people that I already see with what's happening in the world today with pandemics and all of this. Ooh, we don't have a competition to go to. Why should I practice? Whereas,
so they don't care.
Correct.
They're just doing it for the crowd.
If I don't have a sport to play, I'm not going to play the sport. Whereas a b-boy is like, I'm gonna do this forever. As long as all I need is space.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Space is some music.
Like,
and
I see you just dancing in your living room. You know what I mean? With the projector going and you going.
Yeah.
You didn't need a competition. You didn't need 3 judges, because now that b-boying is an official sport. 2024, Paris, France, it is an official Olympic sport.
So is skateboarding.
Exactly.
Word.
Am I correct in understanding that they took out the street part of the skateboarding and it's just half pipe?
They better not have.
Because I thought that was the flavor part.
That is the flavor part.
That is the flavor part of skating.
They better not
skating. I don't know. I think we should look that up. Something that I had heard, something about that, right?
They better not have. I'll be so mad.
Right.
The
And
only reason why they probably would, well, I don't see why they would, because
the belief is that it's so technical that they wouldn't understand. Now the same goes for b-boying versus breakdancing. How are you going to judge somebody on an art? This is the conflict that it is happening today, right?
Who are the judges in the Olympics? Who's getting a gold medal?
All pioneers from around the world, and people that are in the committees. They have a point system.
Okay.
They've created categories in which they're judging in, very similar to a gymnastics type of thing, where one is technique, one is you know what I mean, like form, like landing, execution,
to music,
or style, to music. Right? So there is like one judge is specific on one thing, style. 2, you have style and musicality in your runs. The other one is execution. You know what I mean? Like in such like that, right? So they've got a good system, and it's the best thing we got going on right now. Because if somebody else came out with something better, they're open for suggestions. They're good like that.
Because it's 2024.
Correct. But it went over so well in the Junior Olympics in Buenos Aires.
Okay.
That they were like, yo, this has to be. And,
it worked.
And frankly, let's just be honest, the Olympics kind of were dying out. They needed some new youth energy.
After Mike Phelps, it was Michael Phelps. What's up? What else is left?
Right. And so this phenomenon that is going around the world that is already happening without the Olympics just scooped up.
Because they needed that.
Right.
They needed that.
Let's just be clear, people. Let's just be clear. But it is giving a new way and a new opportunity for kids to come out of their areas where they didn't have opportunities to before. So we're seeing kids coming out of Yemen. We're seeing kids coming out of
Iraq, Afghanistan,
the Amazon. The Amazon, Brazil right now is amazing. Russia, which is where the current gold medalist Bumblebee is from, is going through like turmoil. You know what I mean? Like they've got tons and tons of issues similar to what the Bronx was dealing with. And so they have nothing but to escape, and they already came from a totally different discipline, and they're creating monsters. It's incredible. Much flavor and power and discipline. It's phenomenal.
This is going to be good.
Yeah. So it's definitely something to look at.
And the Junior Olympics already happened?
The Junior Olympics already happened. So it was, yeah, absolutely. Russia won gold, and silver was won by Japan.
Wow. Who won bronze? Brazil?
Meh.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's that B-boy. That's that B-boy thought, right? Where even second is like you're the first loser.
Correct. But at least you fought for first.
At least you fought for first, but you still got smoked.
When you're talking about a sport.
Yeah.
Right? Like all of them were incredible dancers, and they made it up there. They did.
That's what I mean, because I want to know third place, because he still made it to there. I ain't making it to. I ain't getting bronze.
Right.
Maybe. Is it 1-on-1? Is it crew on crew?
1-on-1. 1-on-1. It's easier. So this is where this is going now, right? Red Bull was the first. Monster followed after, where they're starting now to sponsor B-boys as athletes.
Yes, correct. Red Bull was first, though.
Was it
BC1?
Red Bull BC1.
Yep.
And then they have what's called the Red Bull BC1 All-Stars. So that they became like the dream team, if you will, based on champions and elite dancers. They get to go around the world. They get paid. They do workshops. They judge. Yep. They do performances. An amazing feat for this dance that came from the streets.
Word.
So Monster has counteracted, and they've assembled their own team, which is incredible too. They have amazing dancers as well. So it's very much a beautiful thing that's happening. We look forward to hopefully healthier brands being able to jump on the bandwagon and sponsor this youth, right, as we lead the way into a better tomorrow. But it is where it is, and we have a start.
You know what's crazy about that, though? That you would want a healthier brand, right? Because I'm so happy you said that, and I'm
completely all for it with my students.
Just give me 3 minutes and let me rant on this. I don't even need 3 minutes, right? I just want to say, I think about this, listen, for a long time. How is McDonald's an Olympic sponsor? Listen when I tell you this. Not you, but people. Do you really think when this athlete is done after 4 years of preparation, longer than that, right? But let's just shoot for 8 years, right? 4 years of just contention where he's like, I can make the 2024. He started in 2020. For 4 years,
you have to try to qualify for 4 years.
So then you got 4 years to wait once you qualify to make the next one if you just so happen to miss that year. You think they're eating McDonald's? No,
you think I'm going, damn, let me get that Big Mac. Let me get that.
No, they're not. Nope. They got trainers, nutritionists. They're eating really, really healthy.
Diet plans.
Yes.
Specific for weight class and body types.
Exactly. So now you get these guys. Sure, when they win a gold medal, they might get a cheeseburger as a reward. Because listen, after 4 years... Not saying that you should get a Big Mac, but you know what? Hey, one...
You deserve it.
Yeah, but you know what? You could just go get... Why McDonald's? Go get a real burger from
watch the guy grill it in front of your face.
A grass-fed, humane way, the way they raise the beef. Claro. You don't even have to... So, that's that. So do that. But all right. You could cheat and get the McDonald's 4 years later. But they pitch it to you like these people eat it every day. And they have people walking around thinking like, oh, look at Michael Phelps. He eats McDonald's. No, he does not.
What was the old thing? Grant Hill drinks Sprite.
The worst. Not saying that I live a healthy life, but don't lie to me.
What would see that? So okay,
so let's get a healthy brand. So besides let's get a Red Bull and Monster.
So what do you, if any, what at least is somewhat of a healthy brand that is sponsoring big things? I can only probably think of one, and if it even
healthy
counts.
brand, Silk almond milk.
Are they sponsoring people?
Probably not. Imagine almond milk. One.
I mean, the only thing I can think of is Wheaties.
Wheaties, because there's not
That's the only
much
thing
to
I
it.
can think of. That's the only thing I can think of.
And they've been in the game.
That's it.
Special K.
Right.
The opposite of Frosted Flakes.
Right. Less sugar.
Yeah, but it's not.
But
there's
still.
no like. There isn't any because it doesn't sell either.
Well, because they're still building first. Right? Until we get like the awareness of the people to understand, like, yo, read the labels and things. You know what I mean? See what's happening. Understand you are one of 3 different types of body types that requires a certain type of feeding.
Yes.
A certain type of nutrition.
What do you mean 3? There's only 3?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? Break that down for me.
Okay, so like one is an endomorph, an ectomorph, and then there's a third one.
Because we're doctors, so write this down because we're scientists and doctors.
It's really a Google search away. But, so there's 3
All
types.
Right, so I get what you're saying. Word.
Right, I gave you 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
Right? 2 out of 3 dentists agree.
Bro, I'm like, I didn't even know there was one, son. Okay. I'm just out here, don't eat that.
So there's different types. Yeah. There's different types based, and they suggest.
It could be metabolism, genetics, DNA, all that.
Certainly. There's definitely a lot of play when it comes to that, but primarily, and then if we're gonna get that might be a whole can of worms. But if you really on that healthy tip, you gotta go back on some Dr. Sebi stuff and go back to the people, go back to where your origin started from, and then eat that diet. If you
eat
really
the diet of where you're from.
That's a whole different thing. Now that we can
Bottom
bring
cheers,
foods,
Corona free, bro.
Now that we can bring foods from all over, the world has got it twisted. You know what I mean? And we can get things quickly and all of that. The world's got it twisted. Like, we need to get back to cooking. Me and my wife, we absolutely love seeing something, trying it, and going, wow, that was amazing. How was that made? Let's go home and make it. And we go right in and attack it.
Yup.
And we make our own, and then we never go back.
Yeah, because now you're just in the grocery store getting what you want to get, and you chef it up, and you do it, and then you're like, oh, man.
Sometimes it comes out even better.
Sometimes
there are a few plates. There are a few plates that we can't nail yet.
Some stuff.
Pho is one of them.
It could be a placebo effect too, though, because you spend the time buying the groceries, then you spend the time cooking it. Then obviously you might be like a placebo, like you give somebody sugar pills and you give somebody a real pill, and then the sugar pill guy's like, oh, my headache went away. They're like, dummy, we gave you sugar.
Right.
So it could be that, but I believe you, because as a cook, I could believe you where you're like, oh, no, wait.
You see what's going in.
Way too much salt in yours and mine is banging.
Exactly.
I'm with you on that.
Exactly.
So we digress again, right? So now.
So like all of these things are happening. We got
Souljerz.
Man. Souljerz is really happening. We got all this. We got that. So it's been quite an amazing thing. And then in the back end of it all was building up education. So I think that's what ties this all together, whether it's the Olympics, whether it's people's history, whether it's these connections that all come together. Now where we're leading towards is the future. And the future is the next generation.
Yes.
Right? Because we are men of a certain age.
Yes.
You know, I'm not trying to go pro. I don't know about you, but I'm not trying to go pro. Right?
I'm not going pro.
Have you seen what the kids are doing now?
It's impossible.
Like there's especially, I don't know if you keep up with the world like that. Just recently, we're talking days ago, this young boy out of Russia.
The Guinness Book of Records for the 90s? At 2000s?
He just broke it again.
He broke his own.
He broke his own record. Yeah. So, folks.
But that could keep going every day.
So, by him.
He broke his own record.
So, we need to see his diet.
What is he eating?
So, folks, we're talking about spinning in a one-handed handstand while grabbing your hand like this. We call them 2000s. And he's doing 50 revolutions around.
No, nothing. Upside down on a handstand.
Just
one hand, like
spinning.
he said. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
All the way up to 50.
All the way to 50. Nothing is touching the ground other than his palm.
That's it.
And he's doing 50. And he's like, what, 10?
Yeah. Barely.
His 90s, you seen 1990s is a one hand where you don't hold it.
Yep, no grab.
So it's just this.
A spinning handstand, one-handed handstand.
Your legs could do whatever they want in the air. There's no form. As long as you just got one hand on the ground and you...
Yeah. So...
It's another thing.
I'm just glad I'm out the game. Like, I'm super glad that we were in the prehistoric age or the elementary age where it was still building up to this sport level.
I also think, though, that's one way to look at it. I also think that we birthed the transition.
Sure.
Because it went from it died out.
Certainly.
I feel like not we as in me.
Our generation.
Our generation brought it back. Mm-hmm. And then on our way out, we were doing it when only our generation, there was like a selective few that was doing it. And then once that happened and we were not on our way out, because I'm a B-boy for life. You still throw down. I seen the video Wednesday. What's today? Saturday, 3 days ago throwing down. I'm like, oh, shoot. Killing it still.
Yeah,
right? And that was on a practice mode and killed it. Imagine if you had to go
If I have to go after somebody, I'm giving you the business.
That's what I'm saying.
There's nothing but smoke screens coming out.
That's what I mean. And that was on some regular, just Wednesday night. And it was still like, oh, shoot. Like, you know what I mean? So now, I feel like we birthed that part. We're like, all right, we're getting older. It's more business, but still get the smoke. And and then the young kids took it to now. I feel like now the new generation is like, oh, look at how they flipped it. It went from backspins to posing like this on the floor after a stupid backspin and to footwork and threads and air chairs.
Spinning on their elbows. And
then they were like, oh wait, this is infinite. There is no ceiling to this.
It's an incredible thing that particular branch of hip hop has always kept evolving.
Yep.
It's something phenomenal. It brings me amazing pride to be a dance educator for that. It's been something that I've dedicated now. This is my I'm going on 20 years. 20 years of teaching. Wow. I've been dancing for 22 years. This is my 20th year.
So you started teaching 2 years in?
Like I said, I had great mentors that told me, you can get paid to do this. Learn your stuff and get paid to do this.
I never had that.
Right. So
my mentors were smoke everybody you see.
Right. Which gives you the infamous, you know what I mean, like name and the rep. But I never cared about that. Like for me it was like, I got to try to show my parents that I can make this happen on my own with something I love. So in my house you have to understand that the arts were always respected. I come from a grandfather, recording artist, guitar singer. My father's a musical engineer, percussionist, Latin Grammy my brother's a DJ. You know what I mean? And I'm a dancer. So
you still go by
DJ, no, Squirrel Master.
Yeah.
His head will still turn to you. Like
if I was like, yo, Squirrel.
Yep, exactly.
He'll look at me. Or
so
shout him out. Was he DJing as a living?
Yeah, as a living.
Shout him out.
So
let him know
my brother DJ Roberto Carlos, you can definitely check him out on SoundCloud. Check out some of his mixes. A very, very beautiful taste and blend of soul and house.
He's nice.
Comes together. Was a b-boy first and then started spinning. So he understands how to control a dance floor because he's coming from a dancer's perspective.
Shout out to him.
So
my homie.
Who was a part of Souljerz Crew by law. He was just down by law. Yeah. And he did shows with us as well.
Yeah.
So which is we always keep family together. So
you had that, the grandfather, the Latin.
So all of that pressure was in. But the rule was, regardless of what art you want to pursue, you have to have a college degree. So I had to figure out, how am I going to balance and make, still dance, but still get this money so that I could pay those bills, because I was paying for college straight out of pocket.
Ooh.
Right? And loans or whatever, right? And you got to pay for it while,
Sally Mae, bro.
Sally Mae.
I can't stand
coming at me hard. I
don't like her, bro.
So we had to find out where the gigs were. So we had all these different gigs, from Sweet 16s, bar mitzvahs, to corporate events, and that's where we started doing all these shows. We started doing assembly shows at schools, teaching like the history of hip hop dance and doing workshops and all of these different things. And then we finally hooked up with this group called, at the time they're called Street Beats Group. Right? And they were a group of bucket drummers from the first era of Stomp. So the first season of Stomp, and then they left. And then they were like, yo, we want to do our own thing.
Yeah.
Stomp never had dancers. So they subcontracted our crew, and we became part of their company. Right? And then now they're called Industrial Rhythm.
Yes.
And so we toured. I mean, like, when I say toured, like heavy. Like, I think we had set a goal. I think I'm missing maybe about like 10 states that I haven't touched because of the shows.
Get out of here. Was that the same people that we did the
Bucket
Mets, the bar mitzvah in the Mets in Shea Stadium? Remember that? Were you there that day? Where
I've done mitzvahs there. I've done mitzvahs there. I've done mitzvahs at Yankee Stadium.
It's
amazing. It's amazing where people can rent. Like, they literally rent it. Like, yo, I need to have my son's party in an airplane hangar. I need to have my son's party at like this country club. I need to have my son's party at like that. Yeah.
We remember, because we were supposed to do 1 minute and 30 seconds. That was all.
That's it.
We drove to Shea Stadium for 1 minute and 30 seconds. They cut us off at 45. They had the John Travolta floor. I don't know if you remember. They had the girls in nurse outfits serving sushi.
I don't think I was there for that one then.
You weren't there for that one?
I wasn't there for that.
Oh, it was...
Because you know me. I could remember a lot of...
Yeah, that's what I'm like, you must have not been there. And we had the skybox was our changing room, and we had to do with the basketballs.
Oh, yeah, Kenny and Blackjack. Shout out to my man, Kenny. Yep. Kenny,
bro, that was crazy.
Jack Black. Yep. Still friends with them.
That's
still
crazy.
Friends with them to this day. Still
so then you did that whole thing. So then you got into that.
Right.
And then you had to. B-boying was more like a... But see, this is a thing.
It was an art. It was an art for me.
Yeah, but...
Artainment.
Artainment. But this is the thing. If somebody doesn't know what you... This is what I wanted you here. Just in case anybody was confused. That if they see you and think... If they just met you after you're you... After you were established Souljerz... No. This is way deeper than just Souljerz. Carlos as a man. Right. So like this B-boy, you think I started this overnight and just made Souljerz and got paid? No, I put my work in.
Right.
I earned these stripes.
Right. And more so than most people may know, because at the time, there was the, oh man, you gonna go do that? You gonna dance for people that have no idea what you're doing?
That was me.
You go right. And I'm not throwing it any direction. Just in general. Oh, you gonna go do that? It's like selling out. We're over here at the jams doing this, and I'm like, yeah, this whole Saturday worth of work, 2 events, paid for my rent,
and you're still broke.
And you didn't get past the qualifying rounds. So then what? You know what I mean? Like, this was sure money, and maybe I had to throw down and maybe I didn't. But at the time, that led me to so many more opportunities. So like, here's one that maybe like a lot of people don't know. So this one's big. And it was a huge impact in my life. At the time, I was working for a particular company called Unique Music. And it's still them with them. And they were so high end. Like, we're talking high end. Like, we were doing B-boy shows before our current president was even a president. Like, he was just a guest.
Get out.
You know what I mean? Like, we're doing like heavy duty, like we're doing events where like one of the owners of Rolex is there, like, some princes from like Arabic princes, like, security is all in tuxedos. You don't know who's who, type of thing.
Wow.
So one day, celebrating a 50th birthday party, man hires the company to come through, and he's like, yo, I used to break. Do you have any B-boys? So he sends me and my boy Johnny Steele, which we've worked together, which we became crew together and everything like that. So we went through and we showed up to this man's house. His name is Steve Graham, right? Many of y'all know him as Silverback. He sponsored everything under the sun for the past few years. He's helped America be a part of the Olympics and getting involved. Super, super, super billionaire.
Wow.
With a B. All right. So this guy.
Watch your mouth.
So it's his 50th birthday. We start throwing down. He throws a clip on, and I noticed the fact that he was dancing in the 80s. And I'm like, yo, who you used to rock with? And he was like, well, I was a Wall Street guy, and I used to just throw down for fun, for sport,
Wow.
With these guys called the Executioners, which is Wayne Blizz, Doug Poe, like all these amazing street hitters, right? And I was like, at the time, I had gotten a chance to meet him, learn from him a little bit because of Quick Step. So like all of these things come back into like
full circle. It's
right?
so weird.
So
right?
It's incredible how that happened. So we happen to have that little lineage together. And so he brings me on board. And I'm talking about what an experience, right? Damn. I'm learning the behind the scenes of what corporate America,
what money does
is all about, and what does it take? More so than anything else, what does it take? Because I learned, like, he would say, oh, come over, stay over, throw down with me, I'll take care of you for your time, for teaching me, and it was like a sponsor type of thing you get for your taxes, you know what I mean? And you get paid when you throw that down, right?
Oh.
So he's taking me to these spots and he's doing these things, and he's really getting back into it. And I'm noticing, like, I'm sending him information. We're having conversations over dinner. We're doing like all these big moves, you know what I mean? And he's up at 6 a.m., like early, like already texting me, sending me messages. Oh, what do you think about this guy? And and I'm like, bro, like, how are you not like sleeping? You're a billionaire. I'm thinking like billionaires just chill. Yeah, you know what I mean? They said that, but
you would think
I didn't know any better.
Though, but you would think you'd be like, if don't give me $1 billion, right? Because I'm out here 37 dirt bikes deep. I'm out here,
my man,
doing something wild.
Literally taking care of business. 5, 6. Who knows how early this guy wakes up?
Who knows?
And an
if he even
incredible,
sleeps.
incredible work ethic. And I was like, wow, that's what it takes. It's like if you really want something, you have enough time to do that and that. So he's talking to me about b-boying. Meanwhile, he's making like huge moves over here on the other side.
What?
And he's talking to me about b-boying.
So shit that you really need to talk about. Like, it needs 99% of your attention, but he's like, yo, bro, I woke up at 5 o'clock and I hit this crazy move this morning. And you're like, what?
No, he's already thinking about like, yo, what do you think if you had to put up like, at the time, it was like Thesis versus El Nino. And I'm like, word. I'm like, yeah, that'd be a great battle. You know what I mean? Like going back and forth with him. You know, just straight talking b-boying. And so I got this inspiration. This guy became like super, super like into it. So I started talking to him about throwing a jam. And sponsoring me for the jam. You know, I had already started throwing the jam. It didn't work out so well, but it was really successful in the sense
one?
The New York one. It was called the TUMT. It's called the Urban Movement Tour. It was huge. It was a Roseland Ballroom. I rented Roseland Ballroom for 2 days out of the weekend.
Wow.
Brought in like now Red Bull BC1 world champions. You know what I mean? Like Menno from Holland, from Hustle Kids. I had Cisco. I had Little G from Venezuela, like Ardit, Poppin' John from Texas. Like
Poppin' John.
My goal was like, yo, like New York City right now is really lacking in jams. I had just come from Battle of the Year. I was like, there's no reason why we can't be having big ass jams.
There's no reason.
Because we are the mecca of it. You know what I mean? This tri-state area is it. And so I had already done one, so I had something to show him.
Yeah.
And I was like, could you fund, you know what I mean, the second one?
And make it even bigger.
Right. But at the time, and in between all of that, he was like, I want to hire you to come through with me on my vacation and just train with me every day. Hang out with us and train with me every day, and I'll take care of you. I was like, all right, cool. Where are we going? He's like, you have a passport? He's like, yeah. Shoot. We went to Turks and Caicos in an 8-seater jet.
Just awesome.
Just us.
That's what I'm saying.
Yo, and we were out there, and I was literally there to hang out with him. He would bring his kids, his family, you know, his assistants, and a couple of other, like he had a tennis guy as well, you know, and he would play some tennis as well.
Yeah, when you're a billionaire, you bring the golf guy, the tennis guy, the breakdancer guy.
At the time, it was the b-boy and the tennis guy.
That's crazy. That was his hobbies.
Those were his things.
That's what he wanted to do.
Exactly. But don't get it twisted. Like, we're all out there having fun throughout the time, and my man is on his BlackBerry and on his computer still doing his thing.
Of course, yeah.
Like, I was like, wow.
Scary money don't make money, and there's no time off.
Incredible.
It's just time. You know what it is? I think they master time management.
Dude didn't watch any TV.
Time management.
Just putting that out there to all the people out there that are like, yo, I don't have the time. Think about how much you watch TV.
Yeah, you do.
Cut that out, and that should be your building the dream that you want.
You just binged Game of Thrones. Stop lying.
Right.
What do you mean no time?
Right.
You just watched Ozark. Dope show. I watched it. Dope show.
Yeah, I can't see that I've ever seen anything of those. I've never seen anything of those series.
I hate Game of Thrones. Don't watch it. You don't
I've
need
never,
I'm
I've
about
never,
to get so many hate emails.
I've never watched Sopranos. I've never watched Empire Boardwalk. I never watched.
Boardwalk
I never
Empire.
watched. Whatever.
Yeah,
Sorry,
see?
yeah.
Even
This
that.
goes to show
that
you.
was good.
I never watched any of those. Anything.
That's crazy.
Because I've always.
It's not crazy.
Once I learned
another lifestyle.
That's the way that. If you want to pursue something, cut out that nonsense and do what you got to do. Don't make excuses.
Yes.
And so since then, I've been just trying to continuously like rebuild and continue to create other avenues of income and of interest. But ultimately, they all come back to the dance.
Word.
Like it's the weirdest thing. Like I love video editing, like filming, like editing. I'm all about it.
Yeah.
And I'm into it. I do real estate videos. I do like my own videos for myself. I do videos for like other people or whatever. And it always comes back to the dance. I'm like,
and it all started from
it all started from like, yo, I'm not gonna just be like, yo, Styles, listen, bro, I feel like shooting a video at this park. Or you want to come through? Like, I don't want to bother people. So I worked on all the things that I need to learn to record myself.
Yep.
Like now I got like the camera, I can like press the shutter button from my
I see
iWatch.
it all.
Like I do all of that.
That's crazy.
Because I can't rely. And I don't want to put the pressure on other people. They have their own things to deal with.
Yeah, but you know what? I second the notion of I can't rely. Not saying that somebody won't help you, right? But listen, I'm going to do for me. If listen, I need something done. I could outsource it, right? But then I got to argue because you're not doing it the way I want it done. And now we got to argue. And then we got to
because you're probably not even cool with that person. You
Probably
just had to
not.
If you had to outsource, that means that you didn't have a homie that came and hooked you up.
Yeah. And
know
I
what
would
I mean?
rather outsource a job to somebody I don't know. Because then, because you outsource something to a homie or home girl, next thing you know, you're like, I can separate the two. And let's say you ask me
the business and the friendship, you're saying.
I can. If you ask me to do something on a business level, I'm going to treat it like I don't know you and my reputation is underlined with this business. Some people don't. And then you outsource it to one of your friends and then he comes back and he gives you his work and you're like, oh, I don't really like that. And they're like, what do you mean you don't like it?
I spent like 3 hours
And you're like, bro, I don't like it.
Right.
When you outsource it to somebody you don't know, I don't know you. There's no hard feelings. I don't like that. Sorry,
I'm gonna need you to re-edit.
Redo that. Or this business relationship is over.
Right.
It's like buying a car, or you could buy something used. You buy a used car. That car comes back to you. Or you buy that car, it breaks down. What are you going to do? Go back to that guy's house and argue with him in front of his house, talking about you sold me a bad car? Go to the dealer. Yeah, you pay more money. You get what you pay for. You pay more money. Buy a brand new car. Something happens, you drive to the dealer. And now there is no arguing. You just go there and say, hey, something's wrong with the car, fix it. And what are they going to do? Fix it.
Right.
So you get what you pay for. So with that relationship, you can do that. Like I would outsource it to people that I don't know and leave my friends out of it and keep that.
I agree with you. But I have to add in communication. There has to be an understanding, right? Because there's no reason. Let's say, Fred, for some reason you were like, yo, Carlos, I seen some of your work. I would love for you to do all walks of life intro for me. Let's make a video, come through. But I gotta tell you, one, such and such, I don't have a budget. You know what I mean? Can you do it on the strength of that? Two, I have a deadline. Because deadlines between friends,
sketchy.
That right there is where the gray area comes into play.
Yo, where you been all week? It's like all week, bro. I got a life. I'm hooking you up.
Exactly. And then it's just like,
is that's
you
what
offered
I mean.
yourself to me, and then I'm coming at you like with the,
It's
so I feel communication is huge.
Yeah.
And I wasn't always like that. Like, shout out to my wife. My wife is the one that definitely taught me that. Good communication solves everything. Like pretty much everything.
Pretty much everything.
You could be like, yo, honey, yeah, I gave them cement shoes, but I didn't think they were gonna like just go straight to the bottom. But like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she'll be like, wow, since you said it that way, like, and
Word,
it can work,
and then it all
communicate.
makes sense.
It better than saying, nah, I don't know anything about them.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That was probably the worst example, but yeah.
No, I get exactly what you're saying. Communication.
You know what I mean?
And another thing is,
they need to divide. They need to divide business and friendship too.
They need to do that. And I could have maybe I got PTSD. No disrespect to people that got real PTSD. That was a joke. All right, this is a kind of a funny podcast. But well, because so many things in life, even with breakdown. Maybe another thing why. You know what? Another reason why I think I didn't like that. Back to b-boying. Look at how quick I came back to that. You know why I might have not liked the business side of b-boying? Because when I was in high school, I was probably only like a year, 2 years in. Somebody started a clothing line called Tree Life or Life of Trees, and it was like and he was like, yo, I need you to dance for us and we're gonna sponsor you. Bro, we spent mad time working I even forgot. I just blocked it out of my mind like it never happened. But we do the whole show. Homie never paid us what he said he was going to pay us. He gave us a wax shirt. It looked ugly. It was white, black, and like a neon green with palm trees on it. I'm like, dog, this is Amber. Like, that's like some Miami South Beach design. What are you doing? Mm-hmm. So that was already like...
So you were scarred.
I was scarred.
You were scarred with
and that was like, never again, you're going to beat me. I didn't like when they called it street dancing. I'm like, give me my respect. I'm not dancing in the street. I'm in the club. I'm in my living room. I'm on hardwood floors. Street dancing. Like you act like I'm not educated. Street? What do you mean street?
Right.
It's called break. At least say break.
Right.
That threw me off. And it was like, where's my respect? And I felt like if I didn't stand up for it, who would? Like in my head. Like if I folded, then it would have been okay for the rest of the heads and the ill ones to fold. And then we would have just all been like, oh, you could call it what you want.
Right.
And I just had to be on that's how, it's weird.
No,
I'll admit it.
I mean, it's through the history line. I mean, the term breaking doesn't come from us. That came from media.
Yes.
The term breaking didn't come from us. When we came back with B-Boy and they're like, is that something new?
Like, no.
Like, no, this is what it's been.
This is what it was.
Yeah.
But also, like you said, though, the way you guys did it, I didn't look at it. Now I look at it to where you earned your stripes. You are a B-Boy. Now you are. David, B-Boy. You are all B-Boys. But you managed to make a living off of it. It might not be underground, gritty. The way you're not making a living off of the gritty, like I was thinking. But you can't take away your B-Boy card. Are you crazy?
Yo, catch me at any party or any barbecue, you'll see how authentic it is.
That's what I'm saying. And I didn't see that.
Right.
I just saw it like, oh, I'm going to lose my B-Boy card.
Right.
I didn't see it like that.
Yeah. It didn't identify. You couldn't identify with it at the time, but yo.
That's so shout out to you for doing that and the whole squad. Yeah. And that's why I wanted you on here, bro. Yeah. Because it was like, the saying, give people flowers where they could still smell them. You know what I mean? So I was like, yo, I had to have you on here.
I appreciate it.
Just to be like, I respect what you did, what you're doing.
And we've created so many lanes.
That's crazy.
Still to this day, I mean, look at what Irv's doing. We're creating parties. You know what I mean? We're creating parties when the world needs it.
Yup.
You know, there's so many people that are on the fence and we get it and we respect it. Like, yo, you could still party with us virtually. We're giving you that option. And yet, if you really want to be with us, you have enough space to distance yourself.
Yep. And it's outside.
Still hear the music.
Vitamin D.
Right. So, what more could you ask for? And you didn't have to pay a toll to get there.
It's right there. Let them know what it is.
You know what I mean? Jersey. So that's the move and groove.
Move and groove.
There's the listen and groove. That's the Wednesday. That's the Wednesday in Jersey City video. You could just follow B-Boy Irv on Instagram, and he's definitely the lead with that.
I think he was episode 7. He was episode 7, I believe. So you could go watch that. He gave, and you could, his Instagram and everything is on the description of that video.
Yep. So it's been an incredible thing to, like, as you're saying, like, give birth to the next generation. We're seeing now so many more dance crews making money as entertainers for these big events now. And we're like, yo, we done traveled all over the US for like 10 years plus. We've gone all the way south
for way cheap too,
to like the Bahamas. We've performed at. You know what I mean? Like, we've done shows in Vegas. We've done shows in plenty of places, LA, San Francisco, like Vineyard, up in the vineyards north of San Francisco, like places where like
Napa Valley,
exactly, where, we're literally performing for that 45-minute time slot. The rest of the time we're being B-boys in like different areas, like breaking with like amazing backgrounds, like chilling in like hotels and like living this lifestyle that was like, yo, I'm just doing what I love to do anyways.
That's what I give y'all the credit for. Well, I didn't think that was an option, and you guys made it. So for anybody listening, Earn your stripes, though, because this is where I come in. Earn your stripes. Put in your work. Do your history. Read, just know the culture. And once you know that, then understand that the world and the business aspect should give you respect, and you should be paid for your time of earning the stripes that you earned. And there's nothing wrong with getting paid off of it.
No.
And I just didn't see it, right? But I think there's a, what do you say? There's a,
well, I mean, you lived
like,
it. You lived it. You got checks. You got
yeah.
checks from it. You know what I mean? Like, and you were exposed to it.
I
and you
did
were
off the bar
exposed to
mitzvahs.
it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and it wasn't like. So when it comes to like entertainment, there's like two sides of it. There's the more common route, which is like a party motivator that can break, which is like a beginner phase. But then there's an elite group that only comes in for like the dinner pleasure.
Yeah.
And you're literally getting in to do your like so-called like Battle of the Year show.
Yeah.
Like you do your show where you get to do your signature moves. Nobody's telling you like that was like a super early time in our lives where we had a manager that was trying to get us to like do like in sync moves and stuff, and we were just like feeling super awkward.
It was the worst.
But that person, Kristen and her girls,
she was cool.
Kristen and her girls is what led us to the Bucket Drummers and all of that. Mm-hmm. So there's this silver lining. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Sometimes you gotta do it.
Sometimes you gotta know when to call it, and sometimes you gotta know when it's free. And we've all been done dirty by nightclubs and all of that, waiting. Like you performed at 11 and you had to wait till 2 or 3 in the morning to get paid if you got paid.
Bro, the worst.
You know what I mean? So we've all been there.
The worst.
It's a matter of I don't know if you've ever seen those diagrams where it's like it shows like somebody failing and it's like stacked on top of them, like, yo, I failed. And then in the next cut, it's somebody who's failing, but they're using them as steps and they're continuing to go higher.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's a matter of just following through.
Yeah.
Like nobody nails it. Very few people nail it on the one.
Oh yeah, that's
You
very
have to
rare.
fail in order to understand how to get it.
Yeah.
And that's what we were just doing. We were like, yo, we all agreed with you. You know what I mean? We weren't like, yo, this is us now.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Sign me up for the album. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like that. It wasn't like boy band status.
Yeah, word.
But we were like, yo, let's try to see if we can learn their lingo.
Yep.
And then influence them like, yo, check out this instead. This is
Yeah.
more dynamic. Which ended up what it was.
Yeah.
It just took a little bit longer and patience.
Yeah, and it worked. It worked. I guess I was just
No. You were a purist.
Yeah,
You were a purist by every definition of it.
Yeah.
You wanted it to stay underground. You wanted it to stay from its source and its origin.
Not even that I didn't want it. I wanted me.
Right. That's what I meant.
I didn't. I was like, oh, what? I'm not doing that. You know what I mean? But it was like, I'm not knocking you for doing it. It's just, I don't want to do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it was like, word. Because I don't see the way out. I'm like, I got scarred. I was like, listen, bro, I'm done. Like, I'm not doing that. You know what I mean?
It's funny, though, because I would put money that you could still smoke a whole bunch of people out there just on originality because you stayed such a purist. You know, nowadays with internet, with having all of this, everything is a Google search away.
Yep.
Like everything can be found and understood online.
Yeah.
Like you could be like in the you know, in the little closet and just watching it and going, okay, I just learned how to do that.
I got that.
Right. But something that is lost that we always continue to go back and forth is during our generation, you could identify what region the person was from when you saw them dance.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
Like there was a Texas style, there was a Cali style, there was a Florida style, there was a New York style.
And then you even got countries.
Right. You had crazy Japanese dudes like running crazy, like literally dancing crazy. Like they still do it.
Yeah. It was like, what the?
Koreans perfecting a copy of a copy. You know what I mean? And then later they developed.
Then you had the weird like European, Germany, all that. They're weird like rubbery.
The Eastern Bloc dudes that were like straight discipline, like killing mad power. You know? So
yeah,
you know, the French attitude. You know, the German efficiency.
That's what I think Funky Gross and Grits were. I think they were from France.
All right, I'll check them out. They were plenty.
Good luck.
Plenty of.
I tried, bro.
I'll do my best. I enjoy the archaeology.
Yes.
Of it. Like on the low, I have. I checked, I have 98 to 100 VHSs that I collected. I still have them.
Stop.
I have so much b-boy history. I have so much of it still in my parents' house. I have it stored in an attic at proper temperature. Like
he said proper temperature.
You have to
preferred
store it.
freezers.
You have to store it alongside a few 80s boomboxes.
Wow.
So like I love and I'm not even counting
of it. Yeah. It's just
no, the collection.
Yeah. Like
God forbid something was to happen. So here's an example. That is very, very unfortunate. My teachers, Quick Step and Rockefeller, right? Full circle. They had a fire. And I was there to help them try to pick up salvage whatever was left. But they had so much hip hop history that they themselves could have been their own little museum.
Word.
And it burned.
Wow. That's fucking.
You know what I mean? And like, if anybody knows anything about Full Circle or Quick Step and Rockefeller, these were the people that when the African American and the media people were like, oh, breakdancing, that's out. We gonna move on to something, and the New Jack Swing and all of that was coming into play more so than the breaking, because not everybody could do this elite dance. These are the people that stayed doing it. When the Europeans came to like look for it, because they got the information later, they came and tried looking for b-boys in New York City, and the first one that they could find still hitting in the streets was Quick Step. So like this person is like super noted for keeping it going at a high level. Yeah. At a high level. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, yo, I'm getting back into it because y'all wanted me to do it. Like, yo, I've been doing this. Yeah, y'all just need to come on and catch on to this.
Yeah. Like I've been in the gym.
And they had all the pictures and all that, because at the time it was
with the Kodak, the yellow and black.
You know what I mean? Like whatever you could develop and it came in focus was what you had.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? And like they had all of these different things. And so for me, it's like, yo, if something happens and they need hip hop history, at least through b-boying, because I'm a b-boy.
Yeah.
You know, I play with other elements.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't rap.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only thing. Like, the only thing I can rap is a present. Like that's where I'm at with that. Like, I just put that to the side. But now in my life now, I am a master of ceremonies. I do rock a crowd, so I do consider myself as an MC in that sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Occasionally words happen to rhyme while I do what I do. But for the most part, as it was best put, to me, MC means move the crowd. You know what I mean? So for me, that's, at least I can say I can touch a mic. I do digital graph on my own for fun. Yeah. I'm doing it right now. My biggest project is for my future son that's coming this week coming up.
Oh, congrats too! Thank you for coming here, bro. Because you got 7 days left, son.
Bro,
we out here testing luck. Everybody's
I'm checking my iWatch to see if I got any messages. Like, yo, it's time.
It's time. You're like, all right, we out of here. Good night, folks.
So I'm trying to put his name in a piece, so that I could have it up in his room.
Word.
You know? So
graffiti's a whole nother level. Shout out to my next guest. Ooh, that's going to be dope too.
So I have that.
Yeah, that's good.
I play with the DJ. I have to understand what a DJ is doing so that I could rip it on the dance floor.
Correct.
If you don't understand what a DJ is doing, you're never going to hit beats. Like I understand it like math. I understand it in a scientific way. But it's to the point where once you learn it, it's a part of you.
Yeah.
There is no I have to make a conscious effort now to dance on beat. It's like, yo, I go to the bathroom on beat. I walk on beat. You know what I mean?
Do you do that? Oh. How many times do you catch yourself every day? I do something.
It's a way of life.
Where I'll be having music and I'll be cutting the grass. Bro, from when I grab the handle and I charge it and I start, I'm like, yo, that was on beat. And I think I'll be bugging bro, it was on beat, bro.
Yep. That's like you're in your like chi moment.
That's what I'm saying. Like everything.
For sure.
I could time my shoe and be like, boom, boom. I was like,
rhythm.
yo, that landed on 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, and open the door. And I'm like, and then I catch myself like, are you trying to do this on beat, bro?
No, you're not trying.
I'm not.
You're just doing it.
I'm just doing it.
Right.
Everything is a rhythm to me. Everything.
Yep. And now I transfer that to video editing. Like, and even when I'm not video editing and I'm thinking about, wow, this would be a great coffee piece. Like,
yeah. What?
You know what I mean?
Yo,
like it's already
crazy.
In my head. It's already in my head like that, like with a rhythmic form.
Damn.
So like it's really important, man. Like storing all of that and then passing it on to my students. That's become like my new passion. Hopefully, I'll be able to pass it on to my son.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you've seen Irv and you see Sneezy, their kids are already breaking.
Yeah.
Their kids are throwing down.
I know Irv's kids are.
Gavin's already throwing flair. He already got mills. He could do a headspin. He already did shows. He's already done shows with us.
How old is he now?
Irv
told me.
He's a teen. Wow.
And how old
I think he's gonna
kids?
I think he's gonna be driving.
Wow.
Gavin's getting ready to drive, and Sneezy's kids still got some ways to go. You know, they're a little younger. They're a lot younger actually, but they're on
6.
No, older than that.
Okay.
But they're already on their way. They're already throwing down. They're already seeing the influence from their parents.
Yeah.
So we're about to see a whole nother generation. Like Souljerz will continue. Like it's the new infantry, the new platoon.
1, 2, 3 B-boys with seeds in it, and the legacy is already there.
Johnny Steele has kids too, so he's gonna get them, but he's taking another route. I think he's doing like wrestling first, let him get like self-development, and then come back as a B-boy. Because I didn't start till I was later. Yeah. I don't know when you started, but I started when I was like almost a senior in high school.
I started in summer of '96. Which is a freshman summer. My freshman summer.
Oh wow. Okay. So I started like the end of the school year of '97, but I call it '98. I just call it '98.
I started. What year you graduated?
'99.
I graduated 2000.
Yeah.
So 95.
So one more year. One
I started the summer of '96.
You guys are the ones. You guys already had a year on us. This we knew. And we were going after you guys. We were trying. You guys were our mark to try to keep up with and try to go after.
Yeah.
Because we heard you guys already had all the hollow backs. You guys had all of those moves, and we were trying to figure them out.
Yeah. That's so crazy, right? Yeah. And then it just went to like, you know what they say, even though it was fighting for us, like it to you as well. Sure. It was fight. Sure. We were fighting.
It's just you had to rep.
Yeah. So it was like, but they say like after you fight somebody, your chances are you'll be really good friends with them.
Because you realize that person's on your level.
Yes.
Because you know what it takes to be on that level.
Yeah, and then like you could tell in the battle, even win or lose, you're like, I almost had you, bro. You're so lucky. You did that stupid move, and then there's the other time you're like, yeah, you almost had me.
No, I definitely. There's
like the wins and losses where you're like, ew.
Even from the win, I can remember we were just talking about the Stingrays, right?
Yeah.
I remember battling this group, like competing against this group that was from East Brunswick, right? These guys were really good. Really good.
Remember their name?
I don't want to butcher it.
Yeah.
I don't want to butcher it. But they were
Brunswick.
East Brunswick, out of nowhere, right? I want to say had another Filipino influence. Filipinos have always been a part of
Rock with Finesse? No,
not Rock with Finesse. They were their own thing, right? They were their own thing, and I won. And I remember telling them they didn't judge for the best dancer. They judged for the best entertainer at the time, because I know who the best dancers were, because they were real b-boys. And at the time, I pulled the move that what any entertainer would do at the time. My last resort, I took my shirt off. Had a 6-pack rocking. You know what I mean? Like you had to pull the guns out. Like
yo, hey. A win is a win, whether an inch or a mile. Shout out to Vin Diesel.
But I was in there with them, and I was like, yo, just know that they didn't choose the best dancers. They chose the best entertainer at that time.
Yeah.
I'm giving them the respect that you guys were obviously the best dancer. And I've had that from the beginning. From the beginning. Like, you got to call it what it is.
You do.
Because it's going to come back and bite you.
Yeah.
It's going to come back and bite you.
I was the best ever. No, you weren't.
No, you weren't. No.
You didn't win every battle.
Definitely, I never felt that it was the best ever or anything like that. But I definitely have enjoyed this dance, but like you guys said before with the Irv episode, house, man. Can we talk about that? Can we talk about that?
Let's do it.
Where we are with that right now, man. If, for those of you that don't know about what deep house dancing is doing, for it certainly is the cousin of hip hop. Whereas you find yourself out of love. You'll always have a love for it, but you find yourself like out of dating that hip hop love, and you find yourself in the house love because it reminds you so much of those good days.
Yeah.
In the sense that you walk into the spot, music is bumping, everybody's there for the good reasons. You're normally in an outdoor event unless you can get it in a dark club, which you normally don't get anymore.
Not anymore.
You know what I mean?
Shelter's done.
You know,
after that, you got what?
Very rare. Very
Funk
rare.
Box.
Funk Box, and at the time you had Output, you had Cielo, you had LeBain, but with all of that gone, we're right back to the outdoor parties. I'm going to so many beautiful spots and outdoor events. At the time, I was living in Newark. I lived there for the past like 5 years, and I got to meet some incredible dancers that have been dancing since the 70s.
Yeah, Newark's house scene is still
it doesn't even need
raw.
Marketing.
It does,
and they're there by the hundreds.
Yo, that's what and they've been there for decades.
Yeah. I mean, they literally come in with their lawn chairs, their coolers, and they're there all day.
Bro, it's another thing.
And
it's
so many people don't
thing.
But they've embraced me very, very much. Big shout out to Mark and Doug and Donald and like all these amazing dancers that like instantly like just took me in, and they were like, nah, because you're humble and you're not coming in to try to like whoop. You know what I mean? You're there sharing and showing skill within the sharing.
Yes.
Like elevating the cipher, and like we all run in and we feed off this energy, and we all get in and we all express ourselves, and we all even train after, like in other outside of the events now and everything. So like beautiful relationships are being built through house.
Oh, house.
I definitely tell you, like, when you want to and get a chance, get at me, because I would love to show you this. It's by far like incredible. So we're talking about Lincoln Park festivals. We're talking about the Newark library parties with Deuce Martinez. We're talking about Jersey City up by the gas like rings. Like we're talking about by Newport Center like station. There's so many outdoor events. Waquamic Park. There's so many events
currently going on.
Currently still. There's an event happening right now in like South Plainfield that I got invited to, and I was like, nah, I can't do it. I'm gonna do the podcast, and I gotta stay with my wife because it's any day now. You know what I mean? And they totally understood. They were like, yo, how could I have forgotten? Because my wife comes out and dances with us.
Get out.
My wife dances house heavy. Like she's my #1 student. Like anytime people see my wife dancing, they're like, yo, that's the happy couple. That's the happy dancing couple.
Word.
We're known for dancing. You could see us in many, many videos dancing at their events.
And you do, what's it called? It's not really it's not really salsa.
Oh, New Style Hustle.
New Style Hustle.
It's called New Style Hustle. Shout out. We were taught by one of the co-creators, Jeff Shelby. He is the man that's known for it, the big face of it all, and he has been our teacher. And I mean, you know, being Latino, obviously you already borrowed some, salsa merengue, bachata moves, but now they gave it the brand new, that new hustle. So
it's almost like stepping for like. It's like salsa stepping type of house. It's weird. It's like you would have to see it.
It's a new twist on couples dancing with the origins of hustle, but with the new upbeat generation of deep house music.
Yeah, and where when I see it,
you're not bound.
There's not 1, 2, 3, 4. You could almost go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Depending on music, of course.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like there's no, it's freedom.
There is a lot of freedom.
Yep.
I mean, even in Jeff's classes, they throw us constant curveballs on purpose. Just so that you're not following counts.
Yes, that's what I mean.
They want to eradicate that. Like they want you to like be able to, if it's a slow song, what you gonna do then?
Yeah, like if you want to spin her head, you want to step here,
Hold that. Let her do her thing.
And then whip it back on a spiral.
I think it's a beautiful thing because if you think about it, circles can get a little bit much. After a while, it's a testosterone type of exhibition type of thing. Like, yo, I'm better than you. I'm better than you. Yeah, we get that, but it's supposed to be a party.
That's why I checked out.
Yeah, no. Now it's a beautiful thing. Ladies have their moments, guys have their moments, couples have their moments, and
see, I'm with that.
Where there's no circles and it's just hundreds of people just grooving doing.
I'd rather have even that better than the circle.
Bro, I think you need both. Listen, in the nature of what you've come from,
right.
in the nature of what you come from, there is a certain part in the party where you're going to break past normal.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I do. Now that I think about it, I need a circle every now and then.
Every now and then. Nobody's saying that like
I gotta live
you gotta clock
circle.
in and clock out. Like you have certain hours that you have to be in. No.
Yeah, you're right.
I throw down when the feeling is right and the mood is right and the cipher is hot. Boom, boom. The rest of the time, I'm dancing with my lady.
Mm-hmm.
Or with some good people. Sometimes I don't go with my wife, and it's just a circle, a community of dancers that are like, all right, you know. They're all. I'm way younger, like than most.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But they're incredible. Yeah, and you know they're hitting you with everything. I know that's right. Go ahead.
Yeah. Go ahead, child. Ooh, work. Ooh, look at that.
But they're incredible.
Yeah, of course.
Great
old
energy.
people are the best. Older people are the best.
And they know. The music is right, and they know what's real and what's not. They know if you come from a studio or you really vibing with them.
Oh, I love to sit down next to Bertha and be like, look at this guy, ready?
Oh, man.
Studio or not?
And they get at me. They go, I like what you do. You doing that Latino thing. You know?
Yeah. Because they're purists.
Yeah.
They're the purist that I am to this. They're like, but it's of that.
Right, because they were doing it in all those Zanzibars and all of those like clubs.
Parrot, Red Parrot, everything.
All of that, like, you know, Funhouse and all of that.
Yes.
They were doing all of that. Yeah. You know what I mean? So they know, they could recognize.
They were like, oh, look at this guy.
Look at this.
He's
5, 6,
dancing
7,
in front
8
of a
dude.
mirror.
Right. So being with them, I have to give them the credit, you know what I mean? That they helped me increase my two-step. I think it's such an underrated dance move for anybody, no matter where you are in life.
Yeah, because you got to groove.
There's so much that can be done within that little groove.
Yes. And it's right there. You're in the pocket.
Bro.
So you could live in that pocket for a long time.
It's the nucleus. It's the nucleus. Everything else breaks out of it. Like, it's
the foundation. That's if you could do this right here, bro.
I've done it in Europe.
Because we went backwards almost.
I've done it in Europe. Yeah, exactly. We've reverted to like, I'm going to be a specialist. I could crush it just with this.
Yes.
Like I've done it in Europe. I've had the opportunity because my wife is from Europe. So like literally it took us a while for her to get here to the States just to be with me and all of that. So in the meantime, we were traveling.
Yeah.
Like every 3 months we would see each other.
Damn.
It's a beautiful story.
That's
like,
crazy. Yeah. We make a documentary out there and shit.
And it's funny because like there's like a TV show that was running at the same time, or we were living it. I think it's called like 90 Day Fiance or something like that. We were living that.
I never watched it, but I heard it's funny.
It's funny because you can see what the fake and what.
That's what I mean, like the acting.
And we're like, yo, that ain't it.
That ain't really.
Like, we're really living this. Like, so I would go back and forth to Spain, and she'd, you know, once you're in Europe, you can like really travel to other places, and it's very easy. So, you know, but she would always, knowing because she met me as a dancer, it's like, I got to take you out to spots, and I'm like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, of course, I got to go see what's out there in the world, and I would realize that like not everybody's like.
Yeah, they're not two-stepping.
So not even two-stepping, right? Yeah. And I'm like, guys, like. You have all this amazing drinking culture. You have these incredible spots. Bro, like, it's beautiful. After music hours. Is happening. You know what I mean? You're in the place cuisine. To be. And y'all ain't dancing? So imagine being at your favorite club.
Like, come on, though.
How can
y'all liven this up a little bit?
I don't know how you can feel the frequency hitting you from the speaker and not want to turn up. So I had to bring it down. I had to turn it down. Yeah. And when I'm out there in Europe, like, yo, two-step into the groove, and I've had
in your heart you wanted to just go ham on them.
Yes.
And you're like, this ain't the venue for that.
But if it opens up, I give him. Oh yeah, I give him a little teaspoon. I give him a little teaspoon, of the dish.
I know exactly.
They get that, but the rest of the time, it's manipulating the two-step. And I've had dudes like in Spanish, like just straight up tell me like, yo, you're incredible, but yo, you gotta stop because we can't get girls now.
Yo, that's some wild stuff, bro.
In like a Spanish lispy accent.
Well, you're like, yo, if you went to Woodbridge,
yeah,
you'd be bagging them, son.
Like
with that accent, kid.
But, right. They don't realize that. Yeah. The grass is greener on the other side. Like the forbidden fruit. We don't have that.
Yeah, word.
And it would make you laugh so hard.
That's
when
crazy.
You hear these dudes with the accents, like coming at you. Because being Spanish, you can understand Spanish. Everybody has their accents or whatever.
Yeah, they got a little different dialect. It's like,
I've mastered it. I've got it. I got it down. Like I can make fun of them. I can sound it and all of that. So they're like coming at me like, joder, tío, es que tú bailas la puta hostia. And like all of this. And I'm just like, word, thank you. And like, but you got to stop because
damn,
that ain't helping us out.
And
you're there with your lady, but you're setting the bar for the rest of the dudes.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
let me tone it down. I'm gonna tone it down.
Let me put the covers on. Let me.
And then next thing
let me block
like,
that.
Bro, that's still not enough. How about you just leave?
But it's showing me that it's creating opportunity. What is the need of the people? They need
dance.
Right? They're like, yo, if I could do that, I could get more girls, or I could be more confident. So this is where more opportunities.
Because it is a confidence builder. When you shut it down, bro, you walk in there like. Listen.
How many times have you crushed it?
Oh, bro.
Let's be real. How many times have you crushed it with your sole intention was to crush it, and shorties came at you because you were bringing that energy?
Bro.
You weren't looking at them, but you were so focused.
At the time, I'm like, then
they would come to you.
The tunnel vision is here, and then the battle's over, and then it's like, oh. I'm like, oh.
Yeah,
but it's a side note.
I was thirsty. I'll take that water.
Yeah. Can I hold your shirt? Oh man, I got into a lot of problems with sponsors and corporate. My corporate did not like the sponsors. You were there that day.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh.
You were there that day.
Oh my gosh, funny enough that I used a similar name earlier.
Yes.
Oh, that's funny, but it wasn't that. It was
yeah. But yo, that's crazy. But yeah.
Wow, that was a throwback.
Man, I remember that day. That day was crazy.
That was a throwback.
Yeah, that was. That was in the when we had the Deco Abyss days.
Yep, Deco Abyss.
Word up.
That was.
And a sponsor started that. Not even a sponsor. I don't even know who she was.
I think it was a fan.
It might have been a fan.
It was a fan.
Yeah, and the corporation thought that I was doing something crazy.
Right. Yo, corporate don't play no games.
Corporate don't play no games.
Corporate likes things done a certain way for their image.
Yes.
You do not mess with corporate's image.
Yup. And I was like, we couldn't go talk to HR about this? We're just going to.
There was no HR department there.
There was no HR department there.
There was termination. That's it. Clear out your desk.
You're gone. Here's a box. Actually, here's a bag. Take the bag with you. Put all your belongings in that fake plant on your desk.
And you just walking out with the bag. A fake plant. Can you hit 3, please?
Yeah. Ground floor. Yeah.
Rock bottom. Rock bottom. Yeah, that's me.
You're not gonna validate my ticket? My parking ticket? You're not gonna validate it? Great. Thanks. Right? But
yeah.
But yeah, that's crazy. You're right though that when you see an opportunity like that, you're like, yeah, they need dance. People need that. You know what I mean?
But if I didn't have that clubbing history, how could I break that down? If I didn't have what I've learned throughout the times, how can I continue to create an opportunity?
Yeah.
Because I definitely see myself living in Spain.
Do you? You out?
Got no problems. I got no problems.
Yeah, but the coronavirus was real, right?
This is true. It
was. But they got it bad, right?
They got it second bad to Italy.
Are they? What's it like? Is it still
right now? They just opened up regions in which now people can travel from different regions. So let's say something to the equivalent of we can go now from Essex County to Middlesex County.
Okay.
Imagine you couldn't do that though before.
Bro, we stuck in just Middlesex County.
You know what I mean? So like they just opened up that. Whereas we've been free to go wherever we wanted to go.
Yeah.
Like I know people that have driven cross country.
Yeah.
Like throughout this.
You're right. And they can't even do that.
They can't do it. There's like literally police like stops.
Damn. That's a B-boy knees. Probably heard that on the... You heard that?
We call that in that's something else, but I guess
what do you call it?
That's called grease in the grooves.
Oh yeah,
it's I got injured like maybe like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah,
and I couldn't do power moves. Scapular injury, like totally took out my holding of hand. Like now my left hand is my dominant hand,
what?
Which is really crazy. But I found this thing called movement culture. And like the father of it, like the one that's getting the most credit is a guy named Edu Portal.
Okay.
Right? Most people would know him because he got to train McGregor for a lot of his unorthodox methods.
Conor McGregor.
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
You know.
Yeah.
The Irish champion. But before that, he was already something. But it just so happened because of his popularity, he got to train him.
Oh,
in being unorthodox, and then I just like fell in love with it. It's therapy, it's healing, it's rewiring movement.
Yeah.
As a dancer, as a mover, as health.
Yes.
Health benefits, and I apply it to house now. The method of training, like whatever somebody sees me dancing that week is what I was training working out that week. And I put it into a dance, like
just
disguise it with a
out.
dance. It's been my new thing. I love it. Like for the past couple
as
years.
a kid, like you said, you play sports, but once you found b-boy, you're like, no, this is it, right?
I found something more incredible.
Incredible, and then, but the good thing about a b-boy is you could put a b-boy anywhere, and he gonna gel around whatever's in there, and then he could do this, encapsulate it, and then be out when he wants to be out,
Yep.
and then
or turn it up whenever he wants to.
Yes, either way. Oh, what's that? Sports Center? My bad.
Yeah. So this thing is called movement culture.
Yeah.
It's not just one particular thing, right? It takes from all disciplines, mostly capoeira, gymnastics, breathing, boxers timing. Have you ever done the training where you put quarters on your palm, you throw them up and you catch for your jab speed?
You mean like...
Yo, try that out.
Quarters.
Two is average. 3, now we're
So
talking.
you have 3, you got to catch all 3 before they hit the ground. Yeah.
Think about how much speed and eye coordination that takes.
To throw up 3 quarters and catch.
So like it's forever evolving, and then I'm just like, yo, this is a dance. Y'all just don't know it, or y'all don't have that environment to put it into. But these are all elements of creating more and new movement. Like, because, as a b-boy, you normally have one direction where you mostly do your things. That is ultimately going to lead you to wear and tear because you're not giving love to the other side.
Opposite counterclockwise. Everybody goes counter or somebody does clock.
Exactly. It's like swimmers. Swimmers, when they have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and they always stick to one side.
Yeah.
That's really bad for you. You'd benefit so much more if you can have the rhythm and doing it on both sides.
Yeah.
So this movement culture pushes you to do everything both ways. And I love it.
So that's your new, is that like your new, like...
It's the go-to.
Yeah.
Find so many benefits, especially of people of 30s and up.
Yeah.
Will benefit the most from it because you're not in a gym. You're not doing this, but you come out ripped.
Yeah?
Bro.
Movement culture, where did you find that at? Like, where can somebody look it up to be like...
Literally type in movement culture, Edu Portal. So IDO Portal. And look that up, and you hundreds and hundreds. Like, it's imagine that he's so nice with it. He doesn't own anything of it. And he is given so much, like thousands and thousands and thousands of people are now getting money off of those techniques that he put together and bundled.
It's like doing Reiki, yoga, and all that.
Imagine you came through and like, yo guys, I'm folding my body in a way and I'm breathing my body in a way that it's calming me and it's giving me benefits. And everybody's like, oh, well, I'm gonna make a ad for it, and I'm gonna start doing it. And I'm gonna, and they're making industries and all of that
off of his shit.
And that's how good it is. And he's like totally cool about it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you know, he's making his. He's doing his. He's got a whole documentary done about him. Like I said, he trained McGregor and all of this, but his thing goes even further than that. It's phenomenal. Like,
that's crazy.
Because you don't get stuck on one thing. Like, he's like, yo, if his belief is there's three levels of learning, right? The beginner is a beginner. It's all fresh. It's all new. You're going to fail. You know, it's not that, you know. Second level is I'm feeling all right now. I'm pretty decent, but I wouldn't put it on the gram. Let's just say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, let's just put it in that context.
I'm not jumping in the safe.
The third round is mastery of that particular skill. I'm putting this on my stories. This is my thing. You know what I mean? Like, this is it. Now, at no point should you be stuck on any of the three. Because if you're a beginner and you don't get better, your technique is off. Something is wrong. That you didn't get to that middle range. And if you deal with just like, I can get by, but I don't have it, I don't nail it every time, you're not a master at it. You didn't do what it takes to get a master. Yep. And if you're at a master and you're like, this is all I'm doing, I'm not doing anything else, you're not growing anymore. Word. You have to always come back to beginner of a new skill.
Of everything, yeah.
So like you have all of those skills behind you, so it gives you that confidence.
Yeah.
So move forward and go back to being a beginner mindset and learn the skills
of this thing.
And I've applied that to life.
Me too. I just got into airsoft. What do I know?
Hey.
Yeah, I played paintball before. Yeah.
You're going to crush it. You're going to crush it when you do.
Because now I'm like, I'm out here. Bro, I'm so ready for tomorrow. Like, bro, I'm out here.
Start YouTubing, start watching other people play. Like,
I didn't even do all that. I go into the horny, look, what do we got to do, honey? Look, you're the general. You do this. I'm the soldier for now. When I get nice, then I'll tell you where I'm going to go run to. But until I decide where I want to run to, just tell me where you want me to go. Tell me, go around that building and I got you.
That's a great strategy. That's a mentorship.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
That's a version of mentorship, which is the fastest way to learn.
Yeah, and since I'm not ego tripping, since I don't ego trip, I don't want to be out here commando. I'm not Rambo. Look, fam, this is what you do. I'm stepping into your world.
We flanking over here? All right, we flanking.
Until I get nice, then I'm going to be like, dog, I'm not running over. You want me to die, bro?
Why are we wasting our time going that way?
Yeah, then I'll say that. Yeah. But for now, rocking with you, homie, the same way when I had the ill ones. I was like, you want to come over here? But this is what you got to do to be down with the ill one. He was like, all right. And it worked. So now it's like, so that's crazy how life is. That, yeah, you do got to like start from the beginning and then do something in it, but always go back to the beginning of something. And that's life. You can never be complacent because then your mind stops moving, everything stops moving, and then time becomes relevant. To me, time is irrelevant. Timing is a different thing.
Right.
But time to me is irrelevant because we got us now, do it now. Plan for the future. Don't buy a Lamborghini. You know what I'm talking about.
Time also was created. It's not a natural thing in our body.
It's not.
To look at a clock.
It's not. That's what I mean. So time is irrelevant to me. I know whatever people could we agree, but timing is relevant. Timing of certain things in your life this is the timing. I'm on time right now. Like this is my opportunity. I'm gonna do it now, and I'm not gonna do it later. And speaking about time, and now, what are you doing with your business with the weddings? You're doing everything, right? You're doing weddings.
I wear many hats.
Is there even a way to describe how many hats you got?
Hustle hats.
Damn.
I think it's everything to avoid that 9 to 5. Even though you work more than the 9 to 5.
You could have got a 9 to 5 and make not more, but then you're like,
but I'm not. But I wouldn't be happy.
Yeah,
and I would be complacent. And,
yes,
you know what I mean. Here, in this method, yeah, I got the college degree and all that, but I'm not even using it. I mean, I'm using it.
Yeah,
in methodology.
Yes,
but not like that's the paperwork and that's what I'm going to go to work for. You know what I mean? Like, no.
As a b-boy, you can't do that.
No.
You can't do that. That's the foundation of who you are.
Exactly. So I do the weddings. I do like any party, any event, bilingually. Like my Spanish.
Quinceañera, Sweet 16.
My Spanish has gotten like huge, like over the top in leveling, like with being with my wife.
Do you even MC in Spanish?
Of course, I do. I do the full intro and everything, like legit, and not like
what's the name?
And not like New Yorican, like you know what I mean, like Spanglish, like legit. I'll do
Hola,
one in
right here we got a Stephanie coming down. Yeah, you can't do that.
Ahí viene la Stephanie. There she is.
Let's see everybody give it up for Stephanie.
Not at all.
La quinceañera. Órale. And then, and they're like, bro, we're Puerto Rican. My miss. You're like, oh, my bad.
Exactly.
Exactly. But yeah.
So that's one aspect of it. Dance education is huge.
Yeah.
For me, I still teach virtually and in person. I work for countless performing arts centers. One being NJPAC. I work for Bergen PAC, Institute of Music for Children, Freehold Academy of Performing Arts. Like I'm wherever it is. Like
You're out there.
I'm out there.
How could they find you? Like how to like?
My Instagram right now is probably the fastest way for the quickest answer. Like that. So it's at Carlos Brown or BT Movements, which is Breakthrough Movements. Like Breakthrough Movements. So BTM.
Breakthrough. That's some
right.
Stuff
BTM
right
360.
Yep. Yeah. The letters BTM numbers.
No. So it's BT Movements 360.
All right, and the number's 360.
Correct.
All right, I'll put that in the description. I just, just in case they're listening to this audio only.
Absolutely. So we put that in there. We do education. We do school assemblies where we teach them the history of hip hop dance and how it can self-empower you based on the mistakes that previous pioneers made. You know what I mean? So they learn like the mistakes, like the mistakes of locking, let's just say. Like one day, Don Campbell Lock was trying to do the funky chicken, which was the trend move at the time.
Yeah.
And he couldn't do it. And he found himself holding into place. And his friends are like, that ain't the funky chicken, but I like what you're doing. Yeah. And based out of a mistake and good friends, he was able to create a dance that is still being done today, which was Campbell Locking, for short, Locking. It was his last name. And like, you know what I mean? Like, so so we teach all of these things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So do they DM you through the Instagram if they wanted to hire you?
Yep. And the email is the same, btmovements360@gmail.
And you do so if anybody needs anything.
Yeah. And
you heard the list.
Yeah. And I give lots of free content. I have a YouTube page, BT Movements 360. And I give free content like from nutrition to breaking workouts to to videos like on how to do videos, how to use your phone camera like in the best way, like efficiently.
Yep.
Because for a while, I started out with just my phone.
Yeah.
But if you can make it look cinematic as long as you know what I mean.
As long as you got the right technique.
Right, exactly.
Everything is technique.
And I got educated in that. I had courses that I took and everything like that. So I do video editing, which I love doing. Now I'm doing real estate. We're fixing and flipping homes with my family.
Nice.
So like, during all of this COVID thing, I was working straight through.
Word, just working on a crib.
Matter of fact, shout out to Elba.
Yeah. Shout out my sister. Opa Lupo, you want a house?
Because she sold us the house and we flipped it and created something beautiful of it. And again, obviously, I had to film it.
Yeah.
So I had to video record it, and that started a brand new company that I'm starting now, which is another BT Media 360. It's still BTM. It's still a breakthrough movement.
Yeah.
It's still a breakthrough movement in which I do the real estate videos.
Through
so
BT.
like the MTV Cribs, or like when they walk into the house.
Yeah, like a virtual tour, because you can't even tour anymore. Now you're killing it because Corona ain't showing you this house, bro. You're just going to have to virtual tour it.
And I'm literally legit 360 camera touring it. So like they can look through it like Google Earth.
Yes.
Like they could spin it around like, I want to see over here. I want to see over there. Like the whole thing like that. And like a cinematic version as well.
Bro.
Come in with the drone, like the whole thing.
You even got you droning out here?
Of course.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you want that work, damn, I'm going to have to go look at that list of hats, bro. Because I might need a couple of hats.
Tax day sucks. Tax day sucks.
Oh, bro, I'm in 1099 right now, bro. Oh,
sucks.
But shout out to my accountant. I'm not gonna say his name.
See, I'm my own accountant. On top of that,
Oh
I'm
yeah,
telling you,
I got me a Jewish dude. Shout out
as everyone should.
As everyone should, bro. Listen here. Go to H&R Block if you want to. I got my man's. He's like 90 years old. Shout out to him.
Last name finishes in like Steen. Like
yeah, word. I ain't even gonna say it because I don't want them to know who it is. You know, he's like a gem. He's a funny dude.
Everybody should go out and find those things.
Good money guy.
Yep, a good representative of
and
that.
the fact that I dig him is because I go there and he's old, right? And he got some crazy clients on his belt, even currently. Like millionaire, billionaire clients, like one after the other. But yeah, he sits down with me. You get what I'm saying? And he's handling their money.
You're not just a number with him. You're a client.
Yeah, he sits down. He hits me with dirty jokes when we leave, like when he does over on paperwork. I'll hit him up like just questions about anything. Like, yo, you in the office? He's like, yeah, come through. He's older, so I haven't done it since Corona because out of respect. You know what I mean? I'll call him.
Rightfully so.
But I went over there. He'll just say whatever. He'll be like, listen, this is what you're going to do. You do this, this, and this, and that, and this. But before you do that, you call me. If you're ever going to do anything, you call me first, and then we'll work that out. So that's good. So we already did 2 hours and a half, 2:30. I gotta clean all this and got the next guest coming. But yo, I appreciate you. I'm gonna put the Instagram so they can follow you in the description of the video when I post this online, so they can get that popping once again. Carlos, I appreciate you a lot for coming, bro. We go back a long time from a breakdance battle to homies, bro. And we still here 20 years later,
it ain't
maybe.
Going anywhere.
24 years, bro. And we got to get up. And I appreciate you coming here, bro.
It was my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir.
And a big shout out to obviously my crews out there, Souljerz Crew.
Shout out to Souljerz.
Full Circle. And the whole BT movement team that's out there trying to make, a change in life.
And on that note, once again, thank you, and we out of here, son.
Peace.